All right, what is going on, guys? How are y'all doing today? Happy Wednesday. Let's get the TikTok live kicked off. We are good to go. How y'all doing today? Happy Wednesday. It's been a good week so far, pretty laid back. We got a lot of bowling stuff going on as per usual. There's always new bowling stuff going on. We got a few extra things going on right now. So let's see. We got a couple people hanging out. I do want to mention Yofo was the first chatter of the day back at like 1 o'clock or something. So shout out to Yofo. Ready for the live, been waiting all day. Welcome, welcome. Fast, what's up, BDGF? I'll be bowling during the live. Hey, bowling and watching bowling stuff, win-win. Ryan over on Facebook. Dasher, what's up? K-Brew, what's going on? Don, what is going on? Nice little chunk of people hopping in already. So I think we're good to go everywhere. Hope you guys are enjoying all of these live streams that are going on. We've been doing it weekly for, I think we've been going for 6 straight months now of every single Wednesday. I think our last day off was in August. No, we had one in December where we switched it to a Thursday. But otherwise, I hope you guys enjoy this weekly series. I know the weekly makes it really fun, easy to know that it's always going on. So I really hope you guys enjoy that. But otherwise, let's see. Janet, what's going on? Dasher, I got to pick my classes for next year. I put forensics as one. That's pretty sick. That's actually really cool. I love that. Love that for you. But we have a couple big topics to talk about today. First of all, we had our first PBA show go on over this past weekend, and we had a really crazy show where we had a rookie end up winning his very first title, very first major, and shooting 300 on TV, which netted him about $120,000. Then we had a new motive ball get announced yesterday, a little bit of a surprise yet not surprise announcement because it's a ball that motive guys have been throwing for about a week or so now, and that is the motive SUPRA Sport. We're going to talk about that and why it seems a little bit odd where it fits in the motive ball chart. And then really, do you need it if you have certain other balls in your bag, and what is it going to be fairly similar to? Unfortunately, we haven't seen that many great reviews of it so far. Like, reviews are all positive, but I haven't seen the comparisons I really want to see for it yet, so it's a little bit unfortunate. I know motive, we usually don't get as many reviews and comparisons as other equipment, so hopefully we get something soon. And then otherwise, for some personal stuff, I bowled a massive tournament this past weekend in Waterloo, Iowa. I didn't do well, but I did throw the Storm Concept. I saw a lot of the Storm Concept, and I was able to commentate with Inside Bowling, so we had a really fun time. I want to talk about that a little bit, and some of the winners. A PBA guy ended up winning, a college standout took second, and then so on. We'll talk about all of that today. If you are new here, make sure to drop a subscription or follow on whatever platform you're on. Best way to help support. We are always doing a full Q&A session in these. The main goal of this is try to help you be able to be a better bowler, try to help you make some decisions in the confusing and detailed game that we all know and love. So we are going to go with that. We're going to get a little bit comfy. Something a little bit different today. If you check out the description of the live on YouTube specifically, you are going to see a link to a video that Bowlers Network puts on that I am a part of with Carolyn Doran Ballard and Jay Fettig, where we talk all things bowling 3 times a week. So make sure to go check that out and say ZVL sent you in the comments if you end up doing that. But Ryan, 145 stars. Thank you so much, man. I think you were the second person to ever give stars on Facebook. Really, really appreciate that. Welcome, welcome. Hope you're doing good, man. Hello, hello, hello. But we got a couple people hopping in, a couple people commenting. A little quieter today in the comment section. It's a little bit crazy, a little bit surprising. Didn't really expect that. Brent, love Bowlers Network. It's so fun, dude. Our daily shows are becoming really fun. Today's, that's going to drop probably sometime in the next 24-ish hours, was about social media, was about Rule of 31, was about the current PBA show that's going on, or PBA tournament that's going on right now. So we got a lot of fun stuff. Kenneth, what's going on? Toby, how you doing? Good to see you guys. But let's see, we got a couple comments coming in. Gabe, do you think Brandon Bonta is going to have an Andrew Anderson type of career where he pops off early? I mean, He's already, like, with that win, he's already more accomplished than any of the last, like, 10 PBA Rookies of the Year. Like, Ryan Barnes was incredible last year, and he was already up there, but Ryan never got a win, where Bonta comes in, immediately gets a major win, so if he makes a couple of cuts, he's probably gonna be the most accomplished rookie we've had in many years. The PBA Rookie of the Year contest is a little bit sad, because sometimes it's, like, guys you've never heard of who are winning it. It's like, well, this guy made the cut 3 times, and that guy made the cut 2 times. So who wins Rookie of the Year? And it's like, well, usually Rookie of the Year should be someone who's like actually standing out. So this year we definitely are already going to have a standout in Brandon, just winning already, winning so much, winning a major. I'm still not a fan of them putting a major as the first tournament of the year. It makes it a little bit weird. I wish it would have been like the Pete Weber Open or Pete Weber Classic first and then the Players Championship. So it's a little bit odd in that regard, but I guess whatever, we're going to go with it. But I guess nothing we can change about it. K-Brew saying no more bowling balls until after my wedding, but man, that Supra looks sick. The Supra is gonna, something's wrong with the YouTube comment section. Uh-oh, spaghetti-o. Really? That would make sense. Yeah, I'm getting like no YouTube comments coming in. Huh. Let's try a test here. Let's see if it comes through or not. Yeah, YouTube comments might be busted. We might see a lot of people hopping over. Everything should be connected just fine. Huh, that's not good. Yeah, I'm not getting my test message to come through at all either. That's really weird. What is going on there? Anybody know if something's going on? Johnny, it looks like you were able to comment over on YouTube. That's good to see. My comment still didn't go through. That's really odd. Ha ha ha. Anybody else having issues with YouTube's comment section right now? Let's see. YouTube comment on live. Broken. Let's try it. Baldhead Bowler, what's going on? Waniac, what is going on? Yeah, Facebook's working just fine. Facebook is good. Oh, yep. Looks like it's not just censoring edgy messages. 80% of messages are lost. Same problem on the phone app. English is blocked. If your viewers type in a non-English language, it goes through. It is broken. I'm currently in my friends' chats, only letting messages go through if they're only emotes. Oh, interesting. Just finished a stream with the same issue. Okay, I have the same issue in my streams. Yeah, a lot of people are running into this issue. That's not ideal. Great, YouTube. That's super. Bayou, what's going on? You're able to send things. Quiet Guy, what's going on? You were able to send just fine. Let's see. What if we turn off reactions? Is that going to do it maybe? Timestamps, mod activity, participants, testing. Okay, we're getting a couple people to come through. That's good. Good, good. Panda on Facebook, what's going on? Charmaine, you were able to get through. Good job. Ramos, starting with a major makes the PBA feel like NASCAR starting with Daytona. That's kind of what I felt like as well. Where that start is just odd. I like a slow build-up because like other sports, opening day isn't like the grandiose event or something, which is, yeah, very odd. Yeah, no go on YouTube. That's so odd. Why is it doing this? Joshua made it through. Bayou, I think we're good again. Okay. That would be huge. Top chat. Let's see. All messages are visible. Let's try that out. Figures I would sneak away to get onto live and can't contribute, Jazzy B. Nah, you're on. I can see you now. I can see you now. Don't worry. I think we're good. I think I switched a setting where it's not just it's all chat is going to be appearing. Hopefully that makes it work. Question mark? All right, everything I'm seeing should be okay. So let me know if you guys see anything or not, if it's not working or not. But let's see. Let's check out what is all going on. We got a bunch of people on TikTok who are hopping in. Mr. Pivot, cashed out. What's up? Andrew, didn't realize you're from Owatonna. Worked and lived there for a few years. Yeah, I'm in Owatonna. I've been there for 6 years now. Is how long we've been in this little town. Submarine, it looks like yours is going through. What's up? Waniac, focusing and practicing and preparing for the Masters. All got state this weekend. Nice. Good luck, man. Matthew hopped over. Did my comment come through on Facebook or on Facebook? Your comment on Facebook came through, but your comment on YouTube, if you did that, did not. Tyran, I can see you now. What's going on? So let me know, YouTube. Are you guys not able to test a couple of things? Greg, it looks like it's working for you. Aaron, switching to Facebook for the first time since watching it on YouTube on the TV. Sounds good. Lefty Motive Guy, it looks like you're popping through. So I think it might be fixed. Let me know. If you don't see it, remember, we are live on a ton of different platforms. Matthew, now your message is coming through. I think we're good on YouTube now. I think we're coming through. Turtle Guy, I can now see your messages. I wasn't able to see the last couple until that one. But I think we're good. Sorry about that. A little bit unfortunate on the YouTube end, but we are back and better than ever, hopefully. YouTube, please stop breaking on us. But remember, if it doesn't work, we are live on Facebook, on Twitch, on TikTok, and on YouTube. So a lot of different platforms that you can jump in on. But let's talk a little bit about the tournament this past weekend. Players Championship was on, and we had a pretty good step ladder. It was a little lackluster for a while. So they switched from bowling in one bowling center for all of qualifying and match play, jumping over to a different one for the step ladder. So the reason the lefties did not look good was that they moved to this different center. Bowling balls were a little cleaner. So the strategies that worked in the first center weren't working in the second center. One interesting thing that I saw is that Bonta really mainly threw the concept on the Viper pattern, but he threw the IQ and could never get into the concept on the TV show. So because of the different lane panels, it ended up causing a lot of weird things to happen. That's why you saw a few weird quirks on the show, is just different lane panels, cleaner. So it was a lot different than how it played for qualifying and match play if you watched it on Bowl TV. But we saw Bonta smoke Spencer Robars. That was kind of a fight of like who's going to get their feet under them first. And then we had Jesper come in throwing urethane on both lanes, which is what Jesper does. He doesn't really throw reactive ever. It's still crazy that he can make that work, like especially with that IQ, because the IQ is definitely not the best 78 hardness ball, but it still somehow magically works. Also, I'm very much guessing that YouTube is not working again. Yeah, it just shows if you go to match up. Yeah, and he matched up perfectly. Brandon threw incredible shots, but he matched up really, really well. YouTube live comments. Oh, man, I don't know what to do here. I want to be able to fix that, but I'm guessing it's still busted for most people because we're getting, like, no comments for 120 people who are watching. So I can't see comments. Let's see. If live comments are not showing up, live chat disabled. Some channels choose to. Nope, that's not it. Chat replay turned off. No. Maybe block moderations or restrictions. Let's try checking our restrictions. Sorry for doing this on the fly. It's a little bit unfortunate. Let's see. Auto stop. DVR. No. Editing feature that we need to hit on, maybe. Live chat is working for everybody. Redirect trailer. No, I'm not seeing anything. No settings got switched, which is unfortunate. What if we go to no moderation? I'm going to switch it to no moderation. Let me know now if comments are able to go through. Cody, YouTube still not working. Moda, and then, yeah, we're getting everybody to hop in on Facebook. That's okay. Apologies, guys. I'm really sorry that's not working. But if your comments aren't going through and I'm not able to, if I don't read them off, I'm trying to read the first ones that I can, then YouTube is unfortunately a little bit busted right now. Jerry, what's going on? Yeah, they bowled at USB-C headquarters. Yeah, they were kind of showing off like the historical museum that's there, and then they were at the ITRC as well. Let's see. Mike, have you thrown that swag Unreal Solid and isn't the colorway sick? So, yeah, let's catch everybody up on that for a second. Sorry, I'm kind of sidetracking all over the place, just trying to make sure that I can get YouTube to work, but I'm unfortunately seeing that it is not going to work. But we are going to see, try sending some messages in YouTube to see what's going on. Yeah, it looks like Cody, though, it's not working at all. But yeah, so I promised a couple of weeks ago, and the new swag stuff, was not created, was released, that I would try one more swag ball. I was 0 for 2 with the first two. I'm going to be honest with you guys. And if you watch the videos, you can see it. The Apex Pearl and the Craze Hybrid were not matchups for me, especially in my bowling center, which was a little bit disappointing. So ended up not getting rid of those pretty quickly. Tried them on a couple different conditions, and they just were not it. They were way too smooth down lane for being shiny pearls. They just were not good. They were not cut out compared to what the other brands do. So I'm trying one more ball. This time we're going with an Unreal Solid. That is going to be their stronger smooth ball, something in the medium and smooth category. This was recommended by Luke Rosdahl to try to see if it's going to be a better matchup just for what my game has, and just in general, just be a better ball than the first two. The first two just generally weren't seen as great by a lot of people. So we're going to see what goes on there. I did order it. It should be here sometime next week. So it should be very interesting to see how that operates, see how that goes. Okay, now we're getting a couple comments to come through. I think. Wait, no, we're not. Tyran, definitely not working. Facebook is. I saw that one come through, and Chubbs, I was able to get a new PR. 268. Congratulations, Chubbs. That's awesome. Love that. Yeah, but otherwise, if it's not working, try to check out. Luckily, we're live on a lot of different platforms. You can jump into those. So, yeah, we will be trying an Unreal Solid. I'll be giving an unbiased, honest review. Talking to Luke a little bit, one of the things we talked about was like, there's no non-swag guys that are actually talking about swag equipment, that are actually doing reviews on swag equipment. Like, if I look up swag bowling balls, the biggest thing I see is like, wow, this ball's the best. And it's someone who is on staff with swag. So it's kind of the ball review problem that we see in every other area, is just that, yeah, everyone is a sponsored advertisement trying to get you to buy bowling balls. So that's what a lot of the swag ones unfortunately are. So that's why you've really only seen a lot of positivity. Now, Luke said he is big fans of them, which is good. And he's arguably one of the most honest guys on the internet for that stuff. But I will try to give you guys a truly unbiased, honest look. I'm buying the ball myself, spending the $160, I think, with taxes on it. So I'll be able to tell you if the ball is actually worth the money or if you should just skip it. And I will be comparing it to some bigger names in the game. Phase 2, Optimum Idol, Effect Tour. We're going to throw even a Cove in there to see if it's weaker or not. Maybe an Ion Pro. We'll try it to a couple different things. So let me know. Let me know what you guys will think of that. Now, views are going to be super low on that video. Nobody cares about the swag stuff. I'm going to say that on air. No one cares about watching the swag stuff. My lowest viewed video of the last like 6 months are my swag videos. So nobody really cares about them, but we are going to still do it because a lot of you are curious, and I want to give a fair shake to every single bowling brand, no matter who you are, even if your CEO yells at me. Shout out Pyramid. Let's see what's all going on here. Lex Olson, what ball is the newest? The newest ball that just came out was the newest ball that just got announced was the SUPRA Sport from Motive. It is going to be a SUPRA core, so like 255 RG, 043 differential, and 15 pounds. Slightly middle, well, pretty middle of the road, solid cover stock, a little bit smoother. Now, Motive says it's a step above a Phase 2 in terms of strength. I've seen kind of hit or miss on that guy. We haven't seen a true one-to-one comparison. I'm really hoping if there's a Motive person out there watching, because I know some of you lurk in my streams, I'd really love to see a Venom Shock versus SUPRA Sport comparison, because every Motive fan has a Venom Shock. So how does it compare to the GOAT? Because you don't want to buy a ball that's going to be identical to a Venom Shock. Also, drink of the day, Liquid Death Killer Cola. This is supposed to just be their like Coca-Cola sparkling water. It's not bad. It's a little meh, but it's a little less, it's more calm than something like Coke or Pepsi. I just saw a comment saying I actually really liked all the swag videos from Eric. No, I mean, that's like, it's kind of the issue with ball reviews right now is like, yes, they all look good, but if I look up, we're going to actually do it live because why not? If I go and look up swag bowling review, just look up a swag bowling review. We come up. Luke Rosdahl comes up a few times. Theo from Rex, he got those balls for free, and it was highly positive. He did end up getting rid of them, like, the second that he could. We have an old one. We have an old one. Who's that swag judge? Creating the difference. Did one on the judge. I think he was pretty meh on it. A bunch from Charles. X in the Pit did one a while ago. That's it? That's actually it. Wow. Yeah, so not many reviews of that. So I really want to dig in a little bit and actually be able to give you guys some decent reviews and give you guys some honest looks on what those balls look like. That's going to be the hope. So let me see. Tyran shall reveal more worlds to be thrown at him. Charles on the hype teased an upcoming ball that should challenge the Ion Max Furl from B7. Could I finally be getting my Effect Tour Pearl? He teased a ball that should challenge the Ion Max Pearl? What do you mean by that, Adam? Like, what did he do? That would be wild if he showed a different ball in the Ion Max video. That's not gonna make Storm very happy. That's a really bad idea, actually, if you're a ball reviewer. Oh boy. Make a video about the Ion Max Pearl and then say, "This one's better." So let me know, I'm curious. I haven't watched that many reviews on the Ion Max Pearl yet. I watched Tajiri's and that was about it. What do I think about the Ion Max Pearl? The pros are really liking it. It is Beef and Barnsey had some really good comments on it so far. It looks like it is quicker than you'd expect, so it's a little quicker than an Origin, but still fairly strong. It doesn't look like something you can use on high friction or if you're rev dominant, highly rev dominant, things like that. It truly is that like really strong and sharp option. So it is pretty quick out of box. It looks like not as quick as like a Zero Mercy Pearl, not as quick as almost any of the Brunswick stuff because all of their stuff is skid snap right now, no matter how early or late it hooks. But it is looking like a pretty good option right now. I've seen some positive reviews from it from like hardcore staffers. It looked good on long patterns on the PBA. I didn't see if they threw it at all this morning. They're bowling on a 45-foot pattern, but I'll be very curious to see that. The hype said he would compare it to another ball, but he didn't have that ball comparable in strength, so he only threw the Ion Max Pearl. Huh. He said something is coming to challenge it. That's an odd thing to say during a review. I think B7 is going to release ball to compete with it. I mean, I hope not. Brunswick has way too many asymmetrical Pearl balls. Over half their lineup is asym, so I feel like that's a bad idea. But I mean, I don't know. A lot of the brands, like, they don't release a bowling ball, like, to compare with something that they know is coming out from another brand because it takes months to be able to prepare a ball and actually pour the amount that they need to sell out. I haven't heard what the new Brunswick stuff is gonna be, but I'll be a little bit curious. He also threw the Zero Mercy Pearl, so it must be something else. Yeah, I have no idea what it could be. B7 will release a ball that's comparable, if the Ion Max Pearl is good. No, they don't have the time to actually like look and see, ooh, Ion Max Pearl did good. Let's drop something. It's not a good idea because you just can't physically do that. They don't have the storage space for all those bowling balls. Because when a company like has a ball ready to be announced, they pour a ton of them. They estimate how many they're going to sell. They pour them, they send them out to distributors, and then they announce it so that distributors can immediately get the process rolling of getting them to pro shops. The only ones that like Storm would send it to would be staffers or people on the seed list or the first ball list. So that's going to be like Virtue Bowling Supply, Charles, a couple of staffers, and that's about it. They've really shrunk it down, it seems like, lately. All right, we're getting a couple of comments to come through on YouTube now. Lenzy, what's going on? Joe, I see your comments finally coming through, so hopefully YouTube's a little bit fixed, but we'll have to see. Interesting. It's always odd. I know it's usually not a good idea to be like make a video of like, here's a new big motive ball, but hey, here's going to be a storm ball coming soon, so ignore this one. Nah. I mean, the Ion Max Pearl is doing really well right now, pre-order wise. A lot of people are really excited about it. It looks pretty good. It's basically a Zero Mercy Pearl in a lot of ways, just earlier and smooth, or not earlier, but a little bit smoother. I see that as a little more usable personally. I'm not a fan of a lot of skid snap. I don't think skid snap is very usable in today's game or in most games because a lot more people have higher axis rotation than lower. But if that works for your game, that's perfect. That's awesome. That is awesome if it works. But let's see what is all going on otherwise. 253, what's your opinion on a pin down IQ tour for a dry house shot? I'm not a fan of pin down in 2026 just because it lowers the flare even more and smooths out a ball. So the IQ is going to be a lot smoother and basically not flare. So if you want something for like super dry, that could be an option. Chuck, Zero Mercy Solid Goat. I don't like mine. I'm 0 for 3 on it. I've thrown it 3 different times, 3 different conditions. It's just very angular, like more angular than I expected, which is surprising. Like it's a sharper Ion Max is what I'm seeing. Now that could be usable in some ways, but I'm a tournament guy, so I want my big ASIMs to be slow, tumbly, and all of that. Where the Zero Mercy, every time it sees friction, it's just like, I want to go. So that's been a little bit unfortunate. I should have brought it this weekend. I should have brought at least that or an Ion Max this weekend, but I'm going to have to try it on a few more things. But right now it's very hit or miss. I don't know. It's selling like hotcake. It's selling like crazy. Everybody adores their Zero Mercy. The guys on tour are liking it. So I just got to figure out why I can't get mine to work. So there's got to be a reason. There's always a reason. So we'll see. We will see. Remember, if I miss your comment, especially with all the comment sections being all types of funky right now, make sure to retype it so that I can actually, so that I don't miss it. Because the goal is not to miss any of these. I really hope not. Halo Clouds, thank you for the $49 MX super chat. Really appreciate that, man. Is that just, what would be MX? MX $sign. Oh, it's a peso. Thank you for the 49 pesos, man. Really appreciate it. Okay, that makes sense. Awesome. Thank you, thank you. All right, let's keep on trucking. So we were talking about a little while ago, we were talking about the TV show. So we had Graham Fa come on. Bonta made quick work of him. The EJ versus Bonta match was awesome. EJ bowled the game that he could. It's just the big negative with step ladders is you could be leading the field by 1 billion, but it comes down to one match. And if your opponent pops off, well, tough luck. Like, it was crazy match. I can't believe he was able to knock that out, especially there, but it was an awesome match. Super fun TV show. I was a big fan of Kyle and Rich. I think they did well. I was actually commentating a different event during it, so I had to go back and rewatch it. I think my commentary was better, but I'm a little biased. No, I'm kidding. Those guys absolutely killed it. But it was super fun. It was good. So, so it was a really cool TV show. I don't think he reads. Cody, brother, you commented like a minute ago, man. Don't worry, we'll get to you. But it was a really cool TV show, super fun. Highly recommend checking it out. It is on the CW's YouTube page. They put it up at midnight right after the show. So it was up Monday at midnight, which was pretty cool. So if you do end up missing the show, if you can't watch it on your app or anything, then make sure to go check it out the next day. So very, very cool there. Super, super fun show. Love that as a first starting spot. Hopefully they can keep like exciting shows up. Unfortunately, I was hoping for a few changes to the show where it is pretty much just like a carbon copy of Fox. We still need to come up with something though that makes it a little more exciting for TV, but that won't be happening for a little while. I did hear a rumor the Ion Max Pearl is not good for the standard house shot. It's as good as a Zero Mercy Pearl on a house shot, which I think is too strong. I think I said the Zero Mercy was too strong for a house shot. Zero Mercy Solid is too strong for a house shot. I think the Ion Max is too strong for a house shot. Ion Max Pearl will probably be too strong for a house shot. But a lot of people like that reaction. But I think if you're going for something that's actually going to be an ASIM Pearl that's usable, you want to lean more towards like the Equinoxes of the world. You want to lean more towards the Black Widow Manias. You want to lean more towards the Evoke Hysterias. Things like that. Those super, super top of the line, strong and sharp balls generally aren't the most usable, especially if you're a bit rev dominant. They're just going to hook way too much. A good example is Virtue Bowling Supply. I had a video on the Ion Max Pearl, and I think that was the perfect example to showcase the strongest bowling ball in the world from a two-hander who's very up the back of it is a terrible combination. Awful combination. Mr. Phil and Austin, your tests did come through. Tyrant slaps YouTube. Oh, good call. Beautiful call. All right, let us keep trucking. We're going to check out over here quick. Smitty, you're back. What's going on? Bald, I love my Dynasty. Replaced my 3.0 with it. That is the perfect way to do it. If you had a Black Widow 3.0 for a while, you want to replace it. A Dynasty is a good option because it's going to hold up a little better than that 3.0 did. Paul Thompson, what are your thoughts on a pin down Spartan? I'm still not a fan of pin down, especially for asymmetrical balls. But if you want something slow like that, I think that's a good option. Spartan's good. It's just already ignored and forgotten about. Just like I saw on bowling.com, they just put the, what did they just put something on super sale for like $110. Let me look quick. There was a ball that just came out from the Brunswick brands that is, One Ovation. The One Ovation is already $120. So I assume the Spartan's going to see the same fate. The Rally was also dirt cheap a couple of days ago as well. Darkborg with the $10 super chat. Thank you so much, man. This will be my first time to go to Nationals. For a rev dominant bowler, you'll have Black Hammer, Concept, Ion Max, Blue Origin, Phase 2 IQ Tour. I don't hate that, man. I think it looks pretty good. I don't think you need the Black Hammer and the Concept. I would recommend just the Concept. Unless the Black Hammer is a spare ball for you, then I think you can be good to go. But otherwise, thank you so much for the super chat, man. I think we are good to go on YouTube again, where comments are coming through. At least most are. YouTube's working again. Let's go. Come on, YouTube. Way to get it figured out. Don't worry. We only need the largest company in the world in Google to actually get things going. Spareware, thank you so much for all the reactions as well. Speaking of Spareware, If you haven't seen it, Spareware is an official partner of the channel. Go check them out. They have a brand new T-shirt that came out that they are partnering with a nonprofit called Royale Foundation. Actually, a couple of my tournament teammates, they run a foundation. They run a nonprofit where they make scholarships for bowling for a lot of youth bowlers. So Spareware came out with a bright blue shirt where over half the proceeds are going to go towards Royale. So if you want to support a good cause, go check out that t-shirt. My coupon code ZVL still works for 10% off on that shirt. If you want to go check it out, thespareware.com. Paul Meredith, I went live last night with the swag Serpent. Okay, good. What'd you think of it? Elijah just switched over to Facebook. It's Turtle Guy. Jonathan, I find a lot of tournaments on Facebook and bowl them. Is there an easier way to find more tournaments? Not really. No, the best way to find tournaments is unfortunately through Facebook, which I don't like. I hate it. Bowlers Network is actually trying to have a hub to be able to view tournaments, and that's my biggest push for Jay and those guys. So that should be coming sooner rather than later. Also, I just saw 200 stars come through. Let's see. Why is that not coming through? I think it was Eric, right? I can't see when those stars came through. No way. Where'd they go? Let's see. It might have been Stream Element. Is that what I use? I don't know what I think I use Stream. Let me find it quick. No, it's Stream Elements. No, it's Streamlabs. I don't know. Sent stars on Facebook, then Facebook booted me? What? Wait, what, Tyran? Hold on. Did it actually? Thank you so much if it was you who sent the stars. Really appreciate it. Unfortunately, I can't see where they went. No one's ever given stars on YouTube or on Facebook, so I can't really see them. Oh, that's unfortunate. Oh, man. Cashed out. The Spareware white snapback is money. Absolutely. Cody, what did you end up saying? How do you feel about Motive? I don't match up to Motive. I'm going to be honest. I brought the Evoke Mayhem this weekend, and it was not good for me. It was way too either early or way too late. So Motive stuff has always had that problem for me. The Jackal Onyx is one of the only ones that's actually matched up for me. That and the Venom Shock have been the two where it's like, these are really good. But the Evoke Mayhem it doesn't look good for me. I don't know why it is. I don't think I'm up the back of it enough. I've always heard with Motive that you need to really be more of a rev dominant or really get a handful of it, get a lot of revs on it to be able to get the ball to actually pick up. And I think I ran into that issue because it seemed like the ball was just skating way more than it should have. And it was a mistake on my part to just bring that. So I don't think I'll be bringing that Mayhem anytime soon, unfortunately. So I think a lot of their stuff is good. It just doesn't match up for my game, unfortunately, in some ways. But I think some of their other stuff would. Evoke Hysteria probably would. A lot of their Symmetricals probably would. But that Mayhem just wasn't good on what I was bowling on this weekend. Granted, what I bowled on this weekend was super tough, too. Waniac changed layout and surface on the Mercy. I don't want to change the layout. It's already been plugged once. So I'm not going to plug and re-drill it and go through that whole hassle. Because I have an Ion Max, I have a Spartan, so hopefully it ends up working, but we'll find out. Cashed out USB-C oil pattern for what exactly? Miranda Dobbs, I'm thinking of replacing my Proton with either a Zero Mercy Solid or Ion Max. Both great options, Miranda. Either or are going to be good for you. I mean, if you want to stay in the Storm family, Ion Max is basically just a Proton physics on steroids. Zero Mercy Solid is going to be the best option from the Hammer brands. Brent Williams, if Kyle makes a show, who would you like to see as the color commentator? I'm guessing. I always love Barnesy in there, so I think Barnes would be a great option. Eric, when my Zero Mercy Solid does that to me, I slide over to the Pearl or the Widow Dynasty. Fair. Brad Miller keeps saying the Ion Max Pearl is too strong in every video. Oh yeah, and that's where like a lot of those guys, they just have so much hand. They're so rev dominant. Hey, Eric, there we go. Thank you so much. A Vengeance would have worked better than the Mayhem. Oh, 100% it would have. Yeah. Absolutely. I think like a Vengeance, a stealth mode, even if I brought my Optimum Idol, would have been 10 times better than what my Mayhem was doing for me. Maybe I needed more surface on the Mayhem or something, but it just was not good. And I unfortunately leaned too heavily into that ball. That's kind of the cost of me trying to test a lot of bowling balls at the same time. So sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But yeah, no, the Ion Max Pearl, I'm guessing, is a little too strong for a lot of people, but it is basically as strong as a Zero Mercy Pearl. So if people are liking the Zero Mercy Pearl where you bowl, the Ion Max will work just fine if you throw it similar to them. But if you're rev dominant, it might hook way too early for a lot of house shots. But it's always odd. Like I said that about a lot of bowling balls coming out, and people try them, and then they're kind of wishy washy with them on house. Like a lot of people bought the Zero Mercy Solid for house, and I've been told time and time again, no, that ball's a really good house shot. But every time I see it, it is not. It's a good sports shot ball, and there's a lot of oil. But I don't know. It's very odd. It's very interesting. But let's keep going. Seth White, do you have an Ion Pro Hybrid? What are your opinions? Yeah, I love my Ion Pro Hybrid. It's either the best ball in my bag or it needs to stay in the bag forever. There's no in between. It's always either going to be wrap 10 machine or it's going to strike nonstop. There's no in between. Zero in between with that ball. All right, let's see. Halo Clouds. Yep, Pesos. Mike, would you explain what you mean by ball A is quicker than ball B, specifically the quick part? Yeah. So when a ball's quicker, what I mean is that when it sees friction, it wants to hook, like be sharper off the spot. So like a phase 2 Pearl is going to be quicker than an Ion Max. So when the Ion Max sees friction, it's going to want to be more round or banana shaped, where it's going to be slower. Whereas a phase 2 Pearl, when it sees friction, it's going to want to hook pretty quickly and be a little more sharp, a little more angular is what I mean by that. That is what I mean. Ryan Piper loves his Zero Mercy Solid. That's awesome. 300, 800. That's great. Super good for you. That's cool. Don, 2 guys rolled with the Zero Mercy Pearl last night. One started okay with a 240, followed up with 2 160s. It stopped striking and started splitting. And that's what happens a lot. That's what happens a lot with a lot of those really, really strong balls is they hook so early that they're either going to keep hooking when they see oil or when they get to friction, they're just going to be too strong and they're going to peter out. So that's unfortunately a pretty common thing. Yeah, Matthew's seen a ton of Zero Mercy Solids on house shots. No, and the thing is that ball is the strongest ball in the market. Like there's nothing stronger than that Zero Mercy Solid. I've thrown Ion Max, Zero Mercy Solid, and Jackal Onyx, the strongest ball from every single company. That Zero Mercy is still the strongest one out of the bunch. That and the Ion Max are pretty close, just different reactions when they see friction is what I've been seeing. Matthew, have you seen yet in the pro shop how quick the Dynasty lane shines? No, very few people have actually purchased it. We're mainly a storm shop. No one really buys Brunswick stuff no matter how hard we push it at our shop. We can't even try with Motive. Nobody buys Motive at our place. But it's mainly storm. We see a lot of storm. We just don't see much for the Brunswick brands, which is unfortunate. I feel like Brunswick could push pretty hard in Minnesota to try to get some customers. I think it's mainly a storm place, but that hasn't really come to fruition yet from what I've seen. Aaron, crazy to have 2 urethanes in a 5-ball bag, weaker black hammer, stronger purple. It depends what you're bowling on. If you're just on house shot, yes, it's too crazy. But if you're on a sport shot, maybe not, depending on what you're bowling on. Joe, Zero Mercy, good for speed dominant or rev challenge. Yes, that is where that ball is going to be best. The Zero Mercies, the Ion Maxes, all of those are going to be best for those speed dominant bowlers where you're down and in, you throw it pretty hard with not as many revs. That is when you're going to really like those big, strong ASIMs. That's when it's going to be best. But otherwise, it might just be too much for you. And that's a very, very expensive ball to get. It's a max price point, $200 for those super strong bowling balls, $215 for the Jackal. So if you don't like it, you're out a lot of money, which is the worst part about it. James, are you going to partner with Inside of Bowling? No partnership right now, but we'll never know. Claire, what's going on? Can't wait for my photo shoot. You're getting a photo shoot for Spareware? Make it happen, Ryan. Make it happen. Ramo, my go-to is the IQ2 are solid for most conditions, but I'm looking for something a bit stronger. Rockstar, phase 2 are going to be your best bets. Thomas, I did hear a rumor that the Ion Max Pearl is not good for standard house shot. Oh yeah, we read that one. Jeff, how would you compare the Zero Mercy Solid with the Pure Envy? Pure Envy is going to be a little later, a little sharper. Guess we need to make it happen. Hey, there you go. Boom, we're good to go. Austin Wells, the tests are working now. Yeah, from what I'm seeing, a lot of comments are now coming through, which is good. Yeah, Don has it perfect. From what I can see, if you can't throw the Zero Mercy Pearl faster than about 17 miles an hour, it won't hold line. It'll be a little too much. Yeah, so we're good there. Awesome, we're set. Billy M, what would be a good replacement for the Zen U? I think the concept is going to be your best bet. So I want to talk about the concept a little bit since I now have a lot more experience with it. So I drilled a concept last Friday, bring it to the tournament this weekend, and I saw a lot of them this weekend. So what I am seeing, if you're a very high rev bowler, if you're a two-handed bowler, super high rev one-handed bowler, it is probably going to be it is going to be the strongest ball in your bag, and it's going to act like an asymmetrical solid ball. And it's going to continue a lot. It's going to hook super early, and it's going to want to go sideways. If you're medium revs or lower revs or a little more speed dominant, that's where it's going to act like that urethane. Like for me, for example, I'm middle of the road in revs and everything. The ball wanted to act like a urethane. It wanted to pick up early and just be very slow down lane, pick up in the first part of the lane. So I think that's where it's going to be pretty decent. But I don't think I could wheel and deal the lane, where I saw a lot of two-handers being able to wheel it a lot more. Or you saw on Brad and Kyle's show, or Brad and Kyle's vlog, that those guys were able to wheel the concept because those guys have a lot of hand and their ball roll is a lot stronger. So if you're more like those guys, that's where that ball is going to be able to be playable from a lot of different areas. Now, last night, I tested it on a house shot. It was a slightly burnt up house shot. I tested the torpedo direct hit, everyone's favorite. I tested the concept, and I tested the purple hammer against each other on that burnt up house shot. What I found, by far and away, the concept was the best rolling ball. The torpedo direct hit would be good for a shot, and then it would get oil on that plastic-ish cover or that slow absorbing cover, and then it would be a little more iffy. So the concept and the torpedo were at about the same surface. The purple hammer, I think it was at about 1,000 grit. The purple looked terrible. It's high friction lanes, not a crazy amount of volume. The purple hammer was not it. The concept, though, was able to get a little bit longer than the purple and be a little bit more continuous through the pins. So the concept can be used on house shots, not highly recommended. But if you're somebody who throws urethane on a house shot and you want that little bit of extra angle down lane and you really like that ball shape, that's where the concept comes into play. So that's what I'm seeing right now with that storm concept. So hopefully that helps give a little bit of an idea on where that goes. Brendan Shepard, what's your opinion on the Zero Mercy Pearl? It's good. It's fine. Super, super strong, super, super sharp down lane. It isn't the most usable piece in the world. If you spin it a lot, it's going to be very inconsistent for you. Especially if you want to play a little angle, you got to make sure that that whatever shot you're on has a decent amount of oil. If it's a higher friction place, if there's not much oil, that's where that Zero Mercy Pearl is just not going to be a good ball. That's where it's just going to hook way too early. Again, Virtue Bowling Supply had a perfect segment on it. Let's keep checking on in the chat. What's my layout for my concept? I'll hit that too while we're talking about it. My concept, I drilled at 4 by 3 by 1.5. So if we that's VLS, 4 by 3 by 1.5. If we translate that to dual angle, it was about 30 by 4 by 30 is what it ended up being. So you want to drill that ball stronger because it does not flare. You have a ball that doesn't flare much, IQ Tour, any of the lower flaring things like rhinos aren't out anymore. Things like fireballs from Ebonite. I'm naming the weirdest balls I can. Jeez. All urethanes, things like that. You want to drill them stronger. 4-inch pin, 3.5-inch pin, and you'll be good to go. So hopefully that helps with that. Let us keep trucking. Mike, the CW show will be available on CW app next day for free as well. Good. Insert name. We are back. Justin, the bowler intros felt odd and corny. Yeah, it seemed like they were trying to do like an NFL style, like introduce yourself, but like, I gotta be honest, bowlers are very awkward people. So talking about yourself and your accomplishments is not something that any of them will be comfy with. So it did feel really awkward. Felt super, super awkward for a lot of those guys, which is, totally fair, right? Like no one likes bragging about themselves. That's why a lot of people struggle with interviews. So yeah, I don't know. Andy Pax, I shot 724 with the used Zero Mercy Solid I picked up. It was just wrecked. PS not trying to spam. Oh, nice. Awesome. Thomas Megahe, yep, you are welcome. Smitty jumped over to Twitch because my TikTok is dumb. All the apps are being weird today. All the apps are being weird for some reason. Jesse, what do you use as a streaming service? So I'm on a lot of different platforms. I'm using Restream to be able to stream to multiple sites. I have a couple different things going. Lucian Gun, love the name. Wow. I drilled it as a strong benchmark with a shorter pin for the concept. Yeah, you don't want to do actual short pin. Like the ball already doesn't flare, so you're just going to make it flare less, which isn't really what you want. You don't want a ball that just flares once. That's kind of what your plastic does. But yeah, shorter pin, like 3.5 to 4 inches is always a good play. Joe Wilson's player crowd being respectfully quiet during bowler delivery was old school refreshing. Yeah, it kind of switches depending on the venue if they're loud or quiet. Most of them they've been trying to be quiet lately, but I hope there's a little bit more crowd interaction. I know the guys on the show were all very even keel, so you didn't see a lot of celebrating or yelling or anything. Now, minus EJ's little I'm sorry, EJ, you will never see this. I know you aren't watching this, but it is the worst celebration in sports. It's really bad. It's really bad. It's very corny to see. I cringe when I see it. It's tough. I hope he comes up with something new. The little wave on every shot is a lot. I thought he would just do it on like when the crowd goes nuts, but it's every shot. I'm sorry, EJ. I love you. You throw it the best ever, but wow, it just is odd to see. Odd. Dre, how do we think the synthesis is going to compare to the other top three? Most similar to the, oh yeah, it's going to be most similar to the Ion Max. Absolutely. Yeah, definitely going to be most similar to the Ion Max. It's also going to be highly ignored and no one's going to care about it. Just unfortunately, it's just the way the Brunswick brands are right now. Unless you have a Brunswick logo on the side or a Hammer logo, it's kind of hit or miss. I think the stealth mode will get hit pretty well, which will be good because it's a stealth ball, but I don't think that synthesis is going to do great, unfortunately. Blizzard, I was just keep your cool. If I'm missing your comments on any platform, like if I'm reading comments that don't look like they're on your platform, it's because I'm alternating. I'm live on 4 different platforms right now, so I'm alternating between all of the chats to make sure that I get an even amount of all of the comments coming through. So apologies if I miss your comment. Make sure to type it in like 5 minutes later or so that I can get it back. And Eric over on Facebook again, thank you for the 50 stars. EJ needs to chug a beer like Stone Cold on a good shot. Exactly. We need WWE celebrations. I am in. I'm so in. Let's see. DFG, could you give a ball rec to fit in between a Jackal Onyx and a T-Zone? Whoo. Literally every ball on the market. Every single ball will work. Since you have a motive ball, try a Venom Shock with it. Lefty, Ebonite is overlooked. I just shot my second best PR with a fireball. And yeah, wood lanes, everything's going to be radically different. Anything on wood lanes is going to be wonky. Everything is going to be a little weirder. Chris, what are good balls for cooked lanes after league play? That's where like a fireball fits pretty well. Ebonite fireball, bubblegum vibe. Typhoon is going to be a really good option right now. Motive doesn't have a lot of truly weak bowling balls. The Ascend is a little too smooth in my opinion. I'd stick with the other brands if you want that truly, truly weak bowling ball. Brendan Shepard, what do you recommend for decently burnt up house shot? The exact balls that I just mentioned as well. Look at that, a lot of bang for your buck. Let's see. Mr. Phil getting an Ion Max Pearl Drill. They recommend 55, 4 3/4 by 30. Oh, I like that. Yeah, that's going to be super versatile. Super middle of the road. Ivan, are Ion Pro Solid and Crown Vic a good one too? Yes, they actually are. Michael, I never got to sign into my preview of Bowlers Network because the link was broken. They sent me in the email. Yeah, they're still, so it's still beta only on Bowlers Network. They're going to open it up to the public sometime in the next month or two, trying to get a lot of things behind the scenes figured out as well. So they wanted to do the play test with all the beta stuff, and then there's going to be a full release sometime sooner rather than later. But right now, what you can do is check out their YouTube, and I think their Facebook has a lot of good content right now as well. There should be some really exciting stuff coming very soon with Bowlers Network. I was actually talking to Jay right before I had this live stream, and there's some really cool stuff coming. I recommend checking them out. If you haven't seen anything of them, check out The Daily Show with me, Carolyn, and Jay. Of course, Carolyn is one of the greatest ever, so hearing her talk about anything is always amazing. It's always awesome. She has some really good takes. Really good takes. B. Dean, which is better from a step up from a Venom Shock, Black Tour or Lethal. If you want smooth, go Lethal. If you want a little quicker, go Venom Shock or go Black Widow Tour. Brent Williams, what weekend are you bowling the Greater Ozarks? May 30th. I'm bowling May 30th with Luke Rosdahl's group. So if you're down in the I think it's the Springfield area, make sure to come check it out on May 30th. I'll have more posts when we get closer to be able to see us together, to see a couple of YouTubers together. Also, speaking of YouTubers, not a YouTuber, but a TikToker, was able to hang out with Victor Cortez and talk to him a little bit this weekend. So I don't think he's been checking out the chat tonight. I haven't seen him lurking. But super fun to talk to him, all things TikTok, social media, and bowling. He bowled pretty well this weekend, so make sure to go check him out on TikTok as well. He makes some awesome stuff. His live streams are popping off right now. Like, he's getting 1,000+ people in his live streams. It's crazy. He live streams a couple times a week about just his league or his tournaments, things like that. Let's keep on trucking. Alan, I have an Ivory Rhino Pro. Is a hustle rip too close? Yeah, it's going to be a little too close. Doug, I'm a complete finesse bowler. Would a street rally be a good choice? If finesse is going to be like a lower rev, lower speed, higher precision, I think that's where that ball could be good. Charmaine, what ball will the Bionic replace? So the Bionic doesn't really replace anything, which is a little bit odd. The Bionic is kind of in its own realm. It's like where the Sublime was. If you guys remember the 900 Global Sublime, it's kind of like that to a certain degree, where it's not too angular, but it's a little smoother, but it's going to be a little more usable in a lot of conditions. So like, if you don't want to get a phase 2 and a phase 2 Pearl, but you want something in that realm, that's where the Bionic hits that middle ground really well. So if you're somebody who's just going for one bowling ball for the year, or you just want that one ball for league, that's where the Bionic comes into play. It's not going to be super angular, not going to be super early. It doesn't replace the phase 2. It doesn't replace the phase 2 Pearl. It doesn't really replace anything. It just kind of fills that void that's in the lineup between the smooth solids and the more angular Pearls. Michael, on Brad and Kyle, they let it loose that Barnes is the backup. That makes sense. I can see that. Sorry, when I say Barnesy, I meant Chris Barnes. My bad. I don't think Ryan would be very good at that. Ryan's not much of a talker, especially on things like that at all. Blizzard, my bag right now, I have a Supernova, Black Widow Tour, and Concept. You have a lot, 3 ASIMs and a Concept is, I'd recommend a Pearl Ball. You have a lot of dull stuff. Get something shiny in there and you'll be good to go. Ken, I got my county tournament this weekend. Good luck, man. Good luck, good luck. Seth White, I got one. Put 5x5x5. Def my favorite ball. Are you talking about the Concept, Seth? And Rex, Bionic feels like a fast baby transformer. It kind of does. It's like a ball down from the transformer to a certain degree. I can see that. Justin, do you feel league bowlers typically throw way too much strong equipment on house shots? Yes. The reason is, though, well, 2 reasons. One, a lot of pro shops try to push the stronger equipment because it does have a better return on investment. So that's sometimes the case. A lot of YouTube reviews, people really like to gravitate towards strongest ball, most hooking ball, biggest ball in the market. People really like that because it's like, oh, hey, I'm shaking my screen too much. Apologies. Oh, hey, this one's the strongest ball out there. That sounds sick. Another reason is people generally want that hook. We bowl because we like seeing your ball go sideways at the end of the pattern. People think that massive hook is going to do it, but really that's not the case. The stronger bowling balls, those kinds of balls, are not going to be sharper. They're actually going to be a lot smoother. So that's something that I think a lot of people have a tough time with, because in most industries, the more expensive something is, the better it is. In bowling, that's not the case. The more expensive it is, the earlier the ball wants to hook. So our beginner bowling balls aren't actually beginner bowling balls like how a beginner golf club set is, where the golf club is actually worse quality, where a beginner bowling ball is one that's just going to hook less until it gets to the end of the pattern. Then it's going to want to go sideways. So it's interesting. I know it's kind of that idea of that, like, bowling, there's a massive education gap that we need to fix in some way, shape, and form. And I don't know if a lot of people know how to fix it. We had that conversation for Bowlers Network Daily Show today of like social media. And I pushed that the social media space for bowling is way too flooded with professional bowlers. I don't know if it's because it's fun to do, if they need something else to do to make some money, or if they just want to get free money. Because like I know Kyle Troop, I was just checking out his YouTube. He has 8 videos and 10,000 subscribers already. So that dude's already making a lot of money per video. And he just started because his name's Kyle Troop. So I don't know if it's because it's just an extra thing that you can do anyway because you're in a bowling center all the time or whatever it may be. But I think that ends up causing issues in the space. But I think a lot of pros are a little too like a little too knowledgeable about the game to be able to explain it to a lot of beginner bowlers. And I think that gap is skipped a lot. Where like you're going to see ball reviews for the strongest ball. You will never see one of them say, this ball might be too strong for your house shot. So if you throw it like this, you might not need it. That is never said in a ball review, ever. What you're going to hear is, this ball is so strong. This is so great. I'm able to strike from everywhere, which is useless. So the space is broken. TLDR. Jake, basically all bowling balls are good. Just matters which one works best for you. Honestly, yes. Every ball is somebody's favorite. It's really hard to make a bad bowling ball right now, especially if you're the main companies, but there's a lot of bowling balls that don't match your game. For me, Evoke Mayhem this weekend did not match my game at all. It was just not good for that pattern. It was pretty terrible. It was very hard to strike with it. So not really a user issue, more of the ball didn't match up correctly. So that ball matched up with others, though, a little bit better. There's a guy in my pair who really liked it. So interesting. Eric with 50 more stars. We just need a ball called the Apocalypse for your torch lanes. The beach is safe to serve. Kind of lanes. That's awesome. Love that. E-Cubed, how accurate is bowling this month's ball comparison tool? I like it a lot. I think it's fairly close, and they compare everything on the same pattern, so they do a pretty good job. There's always going to be some differences, but overall, I think they're fairly reputable. Remark, what current bowling balls are similar to the Jackal Ghost? Ooh, Transformer. Special effect, kind of, is going to be the other one. Let's see. I see Aaron, terminology question. What does the term pair mean? So whenever you hear the word pair, it means the pair of lanes. So, you know, for league, you're never bowling on one lane, you're bowling on two. So what a pair means is that, say you're on lanes 1 and 2, then you're on both. So you're good. Dan, thank you for the $10 super chat. Not giving up on the TDH jersey font. Oh, thank you, man. I don't know if we've gotten more donations for the Torpedo Direct Hit jersey or if we've gotten more donations for getting swag equipment. I don't know which one it is. Matthew, I'm a new subscriber. I saw you in Inside Bowling and love your knowledge. Thank you so much, man. Thank you. Or sorry, Mathenry. My bad, man. Mathenry, thank you so much. Really appreciate it. I'm glad you were able to check out the Inside Bowling commentary. If you guys didn't check it out, we were live on Inside Bowling for the Ebonite Winter Classic Finals. We were commentating next to Mike Flanagan, giving him a little bit of a break because he traveled from the Players' Championships in Texas. He stayed there all week. Saturday morning, flew up to St. Louis, then drove up to Waterloo, Iowa for Saturday night live streaming. So he was pretty dead. So I was able to take over a lot of it. It was super fun. The Barney theme song was sung by Mike. There was a lot of terrible jokes. It was fantastic. Highly recommend checking it out just for the commentary. It was a fun time. Highly recommend. Brent, what are you taking to the Greater Ozarks after seeing the patterns? Bro, I haven't seen the patterns. I haven't looked. I'm going to be honest. I haven't looked at all what the patterns are. So we'll see those in due time. We'll see those. Blizzard, anyone here use the Supernova? I don't understand why it's discontinued. All bowling balls get discontinued if they're not the best ball ever. That ball, the Nova, the original Nova sucked. So the Supernova was already off to a poor start because nobody liked the first one. So why would you buy the solid version? So that hurt that ball quite a bit. That's why the sales just weren't high was the reason. Dimes currently have an Ion Pro Solid and High Road 40. I'd recommend something stronger, maybe like a Rockstar Amped or a Phase 2 Pearl, a little more angular, a little bigger. Eric, my Dynasty is holding strong after 50 games. Good, perfect. That's good to hear. Austin, dry lane ball recommendation, speed dominant. That's where you're going to want those weaker balls. Typhoon even, Game Breaker 5 Pearl isn't completely weak, but it could be good there. A Cove will hook a little bit, which could be good. A lot of options. Cody, I don't care what brand as long as it works. Absolutely. K-Brew, mine is a little lane shine. Might need to get a better benchmark. All right, we're about an hour in. Make sure, guys, if you haven't, drop us a follow, drop a subscription. Really help the channel. It's completely free of charge. Make sure to like the video if you're on it. TikTok, we're at 9,100 likes. Huge thank you to everyone out there. YouTube, we are at 35 likes. So if you could, go press the like button, completely free of charge. Best way to help support the channel. Trying to get this out to more viewers. So really appreciate it if you do. Really appreciate it if you do. Jaden Jacob, thank you for the follow, man. Really appreciate it. Well, we are doing a full Q&A. We talked a little bit about the Players' Championship show. Going to do a quick checkup on the PBA Tour. If we go live quick, we are not live, and the sound is on. Why is the sound on? We have the scores after 7. looks like, on PBA.com. Love that. We are at the leader of the tournament is Patrick Dombrowski, 308 over. Zach Wilkins is tied. Cam Crow is up there. Jason Belmonte's up there. Packy Hanrahan, who it might be a lefty event. Chris Prather's up there. Graham Foz up there. Ryan Barnes is up there. A lot of big names. A lot of big names going on. It's awesome. Let's keep going. We are doing, again, full Q&A. All the fun times being had. Talking a little bit about the Motive Super Sport, which we haven't seen a whole lot about compared to what I would like to see. I still want to see some comparisons, which we haven't really seen yet. So hopefully somebody comes out with a couple of them. I'm still a firm believer that comparisons are the best way to tell where a ball fits. That's why, like, when we get that Unreal next week, I'm going to be comparing it. That's going to be the best way to tell. Seeing a video of me striking a few times is going to help you guys, but knowing where it fits would. Don't need to care about that right now. T-Dive, as a slightly rev-dominant, one-handed lefty, what's a good layout for your IQ tour? I would go like a 4 3/4 inch pin, go like a 45-degree val angle. Super middle of the road, I think would be good. Joe Wilson's, I think we hit that. How's my level laid out? It was 4 by 3 by 1.5. The intros could have had music. That's true, but that's copyright, so it's a little tough. Tippett, one-handed righty, Gem, Origin, Rockstar, Phase 2, Zen 25. A lot of stronger bowling balls, which is A-okay. What newer SPA ball would you pick up? Mostly bowl on house shots. If you want something that fits in the middle of all of what you have, like an Equinox would fit well. If you want something to fit a little bit better, that's where like maybe a Bionic, maybe a Cove, a Gremlin Tour would fit pretty well in this, things like that. Brent Williams, Mayhem or Super Sport, a better lefty ball? If you want weaker, that Super Sport will be a great play. I think the Mayhem might be a little too strong for that. Hey, Eski, love the videos. Thank you, man. Really appreciate it. Thank you. They're up now. Okay, I'll have to check out those. Brent, I'll check out those the oil patterns after those. Absolutely. All right, YouTube has irked me beyond my acceptable level of irkness. I love that. EJ is just acknowledging the crowd every single shot. 100% of the time, he acknowledges, oh, hey, crowd. Noel, I have the Hammer Tour and the Dynasty 3.0 and the IQ 78 for Reno. It's not bad. I think your Effect Tour is going to be a really good play in the Dynasty. The IQ, I don't think will get much time. Again, I always recommend against urethane for nationals because your goal for nationals is to break down the oil pattern. A urethane generally makes lanes harder to play on. Of course, there's situations where it doesn't, but usually urethane is going to make them tougher, and you don't want that for nationals. They already start pretty tough. Start very, very tough. Let's see. Wrong foot bowler. I shot a 727 with a Serpent. It's a very smooth control ball. Went live on my channel in League. That's awesome. Good. So this brings up a good point too. I know whenever I mention like this ball is not very good in whatever way, the biggest thing I get hit with is, hey, I shot insert score here with this ball. So it is actually good. And I'll be honest, you can shoot Bill's 300 with any ball in the market. I mean, my first 300 was with a DV8 Thug Corrupt. That ball was hated. My next one was with a Radical Xeno, also a hated bowling ball. Really bad. I should find one. I might find a Radical Xeno just for giggles. Mine cracked on me because at the time, the guy who was doing my stuff was putting a lot of glue in the fingers, which didn't help. And then we were putting it on wood, which was also really bad. I went through a stretch where a billion bowling balls were cracking all the time. But the ball doesn't have to be good to shoot well with. Like, a lot of people didn't like the Phase 3. I adored that ball. Worked really well for my game. So the way a ball is good is if it's versatile and usable for a lot of styles, usually. And I don't think the swag stuff right now fits a ton of styles, but we'll be able to test it out in very due time. I do the EJ wave when I flag a spare. That's awesome. Let's see. Row, I bowled a 248 with my Heckler Hybrid, but felt it could be a game 2 ball as well. Could you give balls that would complement it? Two-handed lefty, 400 miles an hour, or 400 miles an hour. Whew, you throw it fast, 400 plus revs. So you're pretty rev dominant, but it was a game 3 ball. That's where like an Effect Tour could fit really well. That's like where an Evil Eye could fit well. That's where like an Equinox Solid could fit well. Things like that. Also, Johnny with the $5 super chat. Thank you, man. I'll be at the Greater Ozarks May 23, 24. Unfortunately, I will not be there May 23rd and 4th. That is when I'm getting married, actually. So I will be there May 30th weekend is when I will be there. What are my speed and revs? I'm about 19 to 20 miles an hour off the hands, probably about a 350 to 375 rev rate. Perksy, what would be a good similar ball motion, but a step up from your Rockstar? Solid, Equinox Solid. 100% the Equinox Solid. The Finn Boss from the brands of Brunswick, outside of Brunswick and Hammer, I've been intrigued with the Synthesis and Stealth Mode Hybrid and the Spartan. No, Brunswick, the cool thing with Brunswick is they make some really good equipment. 95% of the balls they come out with are pretty good in a lot of ways, but they don't get any love. You'll see 2 ball reviews before the ball gets released, and then you'll see their social media posts showing a picture of the ball saying, this one's good, and that's it. That's the last we ever see of those bowling balls. Like, watching Tour, it's hard because you see Brad and Kyle, you see Darren Tang, you see all those guys throwing all of this equipment, seeing where it fits, where it doesn't. The Brunswick brands, you have Packy, who is a lefty who throws the black hammer 98% of the time. Like, love him or hate him, that's what you do as a lefty on tour in 2026. You throw the black hammer, and if it doesn't work, you say a prayer that your super strong ball works. Your Zero Mercy solid works. So I would love to see more on tour or in amateur tournaments or something with more Brunswick bowling balls. I haven't seen the Ebonite Spartan in a video since the ball reviews. It's been out for like a month or two. Is nothing. Absolutely nothing. I personally would not buy that ball solely because I know nothing about it. Maribeth, what's going on? Hello, hello. Welcome. Haven't seen you in a minute, dude. Where have you been? You're my moderator, man. I just noticed that you're still a moderator. How are you doing? Congrats with all the big success in college so far. Our little Maribeth grew up and was already a good college bowler, but is winning everything casually. I got to talk to you about something cool too that's going on behind the scenes that I'm waiting for a response on that will intrigue you. Mike, not just WWE celebrations, but each bowler should have their own entrance music. Dude, I've always been a proponent that we need entrance music. Strike music, meh. We need entrance music. We need walk-ups. I know in a couple older ones, they would people would give away t-shirts or give away a bowling ball in their walk-up, which was pretty cool to someone in the crowd. I would love that. Been busy, haven't been able to get in here, but you've been great. Good. How have you been? I've been good. I've been really good. Yeah, we are killing it lately. We are loving things, having a great time, doing all the live streams with all the people, which is great. Pete Weber needs to have a celebration class before the finals. Absolutely. Something. We need something, man. Les, thank you for the follow. Tattooed French Fry. Love the videos. Tattooed French Fry is my new favorite name on the internet. I love that so much. Playful, what's going on, man? How do you see the Super Sport comparing to other balls? I have no idea. I'm going to be honest. I have no idea what that ball is going to do compared to anything. We really don't see comparisons with the motive equipment that much. I would love to see, Anger Solid versus Super Sport. I haven't seen the Anger Solid in months. If I didn't know better, I think it's discontinued. I haven't seen that thing compared anywhere. That's where we need I'm a firm believer we need a ball reviewer who they make 4 videos a week. Their full-time job is content, which is very possible in today's age, by the way. And they just review stuff. They just do comparisons and spotlights on certain bowling balls because we don't really have that. We don't have that at all in the space. We have reviews for before a ball gets released, and then it's just radio silence. So I would really love that, but I have no idea. I assume the sport's going to be weaker and smoother. Rich drilled my new 2.0 strong like you recommended. Bowled a 630. Congratulations, man. That's awesome. Love that for you. Love that for you. Spareware, how do we get you to be that creator? Go talk to Storm, Motive, and Brunswick, because I currently receive nothing. Go talk to all 3 companies, and then, talk them into it. And if it works, congrats. Robert David, thank you for the 99 stars on Facebook, man. Appreciate it. 300 Dreamin', is the Dynasty a good replacement for the 3D offset? Yeah, yes, with a question mark. If you're talking about the 3D offset Assault Dreamin', then I think it's a sharper and longer option, which can be a better ball for you on house shots. If you're looking for a true replacement, that's where like a Spartan comes in a little bit better. That's where that'll fit. Spareware, you'll get on that deal. Good luck. MC, clap your hands over on Facebook. Evoke Hysteria. Can I replace it with the Ion Pearl? Bionic can take out my Rockstar and Scorpion Strike in my bag. Yes, the Bionic can take out both of those. It'll be, you know, less ball reaction because you only have one ball compared to two. But Hysteria, you really can't replace with the Ion Pearl. It's going to be, the Ion Max Pearl is going to be a lot earlier and sharper than the Evoke Hysteria. I think like a Viking gets a little bit closer to the Evoke Hysteria. Victor is the GOAT. Love his content. Oh, absolutely. He's an awesome dude too. He's a weekend warrior. We love the full weekend warriors out there. He's bowling every weekend somewhere, doing something, making money somehow. That's awesome. Eric, Motive needs to fill some holes in their chart. Big void in the middle, and I still want a Venom with one of the Evoke covers. Oh, I know. I absolutely agree. I think there's a big gap where that Pride line used to be, that just nothing is really there. There's a massive jump between the Forge line, the Raptor line, and the Evoke line, all the way down to the Venom lines. Adam Newcomer, would the Super Sport be a good replacement for my Exponent? Yes, it would. It would. It's going to be highly expensive, but yes. Michael, so since the Black Venom and Super Sport have the same cover and seem to be the same strength, how should people look at both balls, see what's best? If you want something that hooks earlier, that's where the Black Venom comes into play, because it has that lower RG. So that wants to pick up a little earlier, be a little smoother, where the Supra wants to hook a little bit later. So it depends what kind of reaction you want. You don't need both. It's just, where do you want that ball to hook? Come to Jacksonville, Florida to bowl? Oh, I'd be so in. Carolyn should be on the CW commentating. I mean, to bring someone over with no bowling knowledge. You wouldn't see a bowler on national TV talking about NASCAR. Well, that's the thing. So when, so in every sport, you have your commentator from the company. So right now it's from the CW, and that's where it's Rich. And then, or Rick, sorry, I keep saying Rich. Rick Allen? Yeah, Rick Allen. Rick. Wow. And sorry if you're watching this, Rick. So he is coming on from CW. He's the play-by-play. So his job is to be able to keep everything flowing correctly. His job is to be the hype guy. And then the color commentator, that's the brains of the operation, the one who's the bowling expert. That's picked by the PBA. So that's how commentary goes in everything. You have the play-by-play guy, you have the color commentator. And that's how it is everywhere. Like when Tom Brady's on, he's the color commentator for the NFL, where whoever is on with him is the play-by-play guy. That's why you see a lot of non-experts in sports, and then you see a lot of experts. So that's in every sport. Just bowling is a little tougher because it's more niche, and they're filtering through a lot more commentators, and it's not a spot that people like train to be a commentator for. I think Rick is fantastic. He is incredible at learning, picking up the sport. He called a messenger without knowing bowling for that many weeks. So I think this is going to be fantastic for the PBA. Just we'll have to give it a couple of weeks. Have to give it a little bit of time. There's my Maribeth text of what's going on. Bob, any thoughts on the Paddock app? I've never heard of that app. I'm sorry. I'll check it out. Marino, will you be bowling in New Jersey or Philly? I will not. I don't have any tournaments that I bowl there. And I'm pretty booked on a lot of travel in the next couple of weeks or months. Jaybird, what's going on? You're sick. I'm sorry for that, man. Why they had to discontinue the Theorem Hybrid? Its sales must be low enough. Its sales must be a little too low. So whenever a ball gets discontinued, it's not that the company just wants to replace it. It means sales are too low where producing the ball is making less money than having something else on the line. That's how it always goes for every company, which is unfortunate, but it is what it is. Michael, buzzword sell balls. Oh, absolutely. Be ready. Luke Rosdahl is going to do a really cool video soon talking about like how to make a better ball review. And he's going to talk about that as well a little bit, is like, if I tell you this is the best ball ever, or if I tell you this ball's mediocre, I don't know if you should buy it. Which one are you going to buy? You're going to buy the best ball ever. Well, what you're going to do is you're going to buy it in a link in the description. Boom. More money. If I sell 100 of them because I talk about it that way, or if I sell 30 because I talk about it this way and be honest, I make more money this way. Easy. And that's why people don't like me on the internet. K-Brew, pro shops need to show balls by level or purpose, not by brand. Absolutely. Absolutely. Jaden, do you know if you can replace a black hammer with a different ball? No. The black hammer is just the GOAT 78 ball. It's a GOAT 78 hardness ball, unfortunately. There's just nothing that really replaces it. Did I miss a super chat at all? I might have. No, we hit Johnny. We're good. We're Gucci. Halo Clouds, I have the special effect in a plastic ball. What second ball to use mid-game 2 and 3? That's where a medium sharp ball is going to come into play. Some kind of symmetrical shiny. Jordan, what are your thoughts on the high speed? It's a bit of an older ball. The speed line is good from C300, but it's a little bit older. B, I'm looking for a solid that's a step down from the alert. Danger zone solid. If you want to stick with Brunswick, that's going to be the best call. That it's pretty sick right now. That ball's really good. I don't think he's going to answer our questions. There you go, Jordan. There's my answer, buddy. Man, TikTok is just impatient today. Jeez. You guys had to wait as long as YouTube did. You guys would freak out. YouTube has to wait 20 minutes for my answers. Metalhead, how do you read the comparison graph on bowling this month? So bowling this month has a pretty cool comparison chart where it's just a regular XY axis. If I remember right, the lower in the bottom right corner ball is, the earlier and smoother it's going to be. So they have angular or sharpness on one axis, and then they have strength on the other. So how early, it's kind of like strong, medium, weak for what we do on the channel, and then smooth and sharp is really how you can see that, which is pretty cool. Perksy, what would be a good similar ball motion, but a step up? We hit that one. Aaron, I'm sorry for asking my question over. I thought it wasn't coming through. Okay, perfect. Good to hear. Greg Coy, donations for the pyramid anchor you threw. I'm keeping it. I'm keeping that pyramid prime solid just in case I want to do a video seeing if I can fix it. I just don't know how I'm going to do it, and I don't want to make any more people upset in the bowling space, so I might have to get rid of it. We'll see. 300 Dreaming, is the Widow Dynasty a good replacement? Okay, we hit that one. Is there an issue of the Dynasty lane shining and petering out? Not that I know of. And can you compare the Effect Tour to the Widow version 1? The Widow V1 is later and sharper than the Effect Tour. Let's see. Jim Ward, any thoughts on the new Swag Craze Pearl Ball? Is it comparison to the Crown Vic Pearl? No, it's way weaker. It's many boards weaker than the Crown Victory Pearl. Swag stuff you always have to assume is going to be a step or two below its counterparts from other brands. The Craze Tour Pearl is more of like a hustle type ball reaction. More in that hustle range. Tori, best medium sharp shiny ball for a straight balanced lefty. Best medium sharp shiny ball for a straight balanced lefty. Okay, I got to call this. I had a YouTuber get upset with me because I'm live in my regular time. They're doing a sorry, I'm seeing red after that. Be careful, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my god. Oh man. Yeah, there's a YouTuber who is upset that I'm live right now because they are also live in their own thing. As you guys are aware, this is a normal time for us. So he says it felt intentional. That's unfortunate. Anyways, Jaden, do you know if you can replace black? No, we hit that one. Justin, speaking of the Winter Classic, interesting to see a rubber LT48. Imagine the pro shop had to open a window. Dude, so I want to talk about that. This weekend, Ebonite Winter Classic, we saw a rubber bowling ball being thrown. If you guys weren't aware, before urethane was rubber. This was an LT48 Brunswick rubber ball. The guy, Brandon Cryer, who was the bowler, he finished, what did he finish? 5th? No. He was top 10. He was like he was top 5, I think. No. I don't know. I think he was top 6. He was top 6, and he threw a rubber ball. So he was playing up like 4 board with a rubber ball, which is awesome. Super, super sick. It is legal, by the way. There's a couple people in the comments a little curious. He did look up the legality of the ball. It is indeed legal to throw a rubber ball. The reason you don't see rubber balls is 1, they hook way less than anything, but 2, drilling into a rubber ball is super, super stinky. Like, it is burnt rubber, literally burnt rubber. So he drilled it at their local shop and he said it stunk, but it was pretty good in a little bit. So that was good. But it looked good for him. He made a lot of money because of it. He almost had a 300 with it. It would have been the first 300 with a rubber ball, I swear, in I don't know how long. We don't have a stat, but he shot 289, I think, in one of his games. He had front 10 and then he wrapped a 7-pin. In that game, he tripped out. What did he do? He Brooklyned once, he tripped out a 3-pin once, and then he splashed a lot of pins around. That shouldn't splash around with a rubber ball. It was sick. It was awesome. I haven't seen a rubber ball thrown before that, so that was pretty cool. Gets the jump on YouTube, takes it. K-Star, bad balls equal can't trust, very sensitive to rotation, and erratic, rarely match up. Have to throw it super fine, always deflects, etc. No, absolutely. Rosdahl said you could do a full track arsenal from the synthesis down. It would just be the world's strongest arsenal. Yeah, track only believes in super strong equipment. JR, what's going on? We have a Barker sighting. What is up? Sorry, I'm late watching the PBA. How's it going? I don't have it up because I want to save the bandwidth, but I'll be watching it right after this. Aaron Springborn, for music, I would either use Triple H's music or the John Fogerty music. Ooh, sorry, I'm still tweaking off of that text. Ugh. I get way too into, like, when someone gets upset with me for whatever reason, like, my head, like, freaks out. I don't know how to fix it, but this one's very uncalled for. I will not be saying who it was, but it was very unfortunate. Jacob, should I wait to drill a new ball and get my PAP tested if I'm trying to learn my release? Should I wait to drill a new ball and get my PAP test if I'm learning? So if you're trying to learn your release more, I usually recommend, wow, speak of the devil, Victor Cortez is here, ladies and gentlemen. Be on your best behavior. Don't tell him we said terrible things about him earlier. We didn't say bad things. But we did talk about you. He is here. You mention his name and he appears. He's like Beetlejuice. But should you wait to drill a new ball and get your PAP test if you're trying to learn? I recommend avoiding drilling too many bowling balls while you're still trying to figure out how you throw the ball. I would wait, try to get a few things honed in more, and then start getting equipment once you have your PAP figured out. You don't want to drill too many balls without knowing your PAP, because if your PAP is radically different, it gets a little worrisome. Then you have some problems. Okay, Stark, Ingersoll is niche but unique. Dude, I think that ball's good. Adam Barta threw it. Nice. Love that. Dr. Wisdom. I love Mr. ZVL's chit chats. Thanks for hopping in, Dr. Wisdom. Really appreciate it, man. Haven't seen you in a minute. Hope you're doing well. I'll talk to Phil from Radical on Tuesday. Yeah. Tell me how that goes, man. Tell me how it goes. Say his name and he appears. He is here. Remember, make sure to follow Victor because he has a lot of awesome live streams where you can learn a lot about bowling. Michael, I mean, X in the Pit does pretty well not getting the balls early. Sometimes they get one or two early, but even James said that's by accident. James says he gets more emails from the big three asking to be less harsh on reviews. Really? Huh. I don't know how accurate that is. The brands are many very highly reputable people have told me, even from the brands themselves, you can be hard on our stuff. We want you to be unbiased. It's okay. So I'd want to see those emails. I'd be curious if James from X in the Pit, they don't know who I am usually, last time I checked, but if they want to, I'd be curious to see those. I'd be very curious if they're getting different words than I am. Jim Ward, how do you see the ball companies ever coming out with the urethane pearls, like the red pearl urethane, the blue pearl urethane? No, I don't think we're going to see many urethanes until USB-C comes out with their final answer on urethane. Once the USB-C says, hey, this is what we're doing going forward, then I think we're going to see either more urethanes or no urethanes because they're banned. So I think it's really going to depend there because the companies don't really want to, they don't want to come out with a ball that's going to not be throwable in a year. Like that's the last thing they want to do. So I don't think we'll see too many urethanes in the coming months, but who knows? Maybe I'll be wrong. Maybe there'll be a couple more on the way. I would assume we won't. That's why we've seen what? I think we've seen less than 5 urethanes in the last year and a half, really. He says he loves watching your shorts, watched the long form content last. I know. Oh, cool. That's awesome to hear. That's really awesome to hear. Death by Sparky. Love that. You bowling Willow Creek this year? I am not bowling Willow Creek this year. I think my team is going in late March. And I have a different tournament going on if I remember right. Can't remember though. But I am not going, unfortunately. Cub Killer, where would you recommend buying used balls from? So used balls are tough. Some of the better ones are going to be Facebook Marketplace, and Facebook used groups, Racks on Racks, and Storm and Rotogrip bowling balls for sale. I think those are going to be the best places. Abe Froman, most angular ball, Crown Victory Pearl. Dr. Wisdom, you know who's a good bowling ball announcer? Kelly Kulik. Oh, she's awesome. Yeah, she's great. Gregory Green, you have a new question. When you're going to tournaments, do you recommend totes or bags? I recommend totes. So the totes are going to be I have bowling balls in mine, so I'm not gonna lift them. They're the skinny ones. Those are my favorites because I put my accessories, my shoes, all of that into a backpack. I don't like spending the extra $40 for like a shoe compartment on my bag. I recommend just a backpack. Before I got this pack back through my pro shop, I was just using an old college backpack. Granted, college was only a couple years ago, so it was still in good shape, but backpacks are so cheap. So it's easier. You can carry more stuff than a shoe compartment. So that's what I recommend. And also, if you fly, totes are the play. Yeah, Victor, I also like the tote and backpack routine. Absolutely. 100%. So that's definitely the play. QUG, where would you put the Ion Max Pearl? Strong Sharp. It's definitely going to be a strong and sharp ball. It's probably going to be the #1 strong sharp ball from Storm. It's going to be the strongest one on that list. Because right now, the strongest one is the Viking. Smitty, is the form for Arsenal reviews still open? So I am doing a change on my Arsenal reviews. I don't have time to make those videos, unfortunately. With still working a full-time job and then doing this as my second job, I just don't have time to make videos for all of them. So I'm going to be doing something a little different for my Arsenal reviews. So make sure to stay tuned for that. We're going to have to skip a little bit forward because we're only about 10 minutes behind. Beautiful. Cub Killer, we hit Nova Rise on Twitch. Should I get the Heckler or Equinox Solid? I like the Equinox Solid better, but it's a little pricier. Mr. Pivot, totes for travel. I haven't done a backpack before. Yeah, I recommend the backpack routine. I love it. You can fit so much in a backpack. It's crazy. More than you'd think. Matty Ice, opinion on the Radical Zing. It was honestly, the Zing was that's Radical's MO. That ball was smooth, it was slow, it was early, and it was continuous. That is what Radical excelled at for so many years. They couldn't really do the Pearl stuff very well, but their solids, their big ASIM solids were the play. They were awesome. That Zing hits that category perfectly. Mike, Craze Tour Pearl, significantly stronger than a Hustle. From what I haven't seen enough about it. That's the problem. I know the Craze Hybrid was probably about 5 weaker than a Hustle. But I'd like to see a little more on it before, but we just haven't seen much. Besides, I mean, Mike, you're probably one of the few swag staffers I've heard from who actually talks about the swag equipment, which is tough. Jeffrey Paul, I've now drilled the Dark Side and the Curse. Awesome. I'm glad you like them. Delivery to Joe. I'm live too. You're ruining my life. Oh, that's awesome. Like, he's going to watch this back and I'm going to get yelled at more. But like, I've been live, like I said at the beginning of the stream, I've been live besides the 1 week in December, I've been live on Wednesdays for pretty much a year straight of just like, I've missed like 3 weeks. It's like 49 out of the last 52 weeks. I've been live on Wednesdays at 6 p.m. Like, I don't think I'm stepping on toes, man. I think other people might be stepping on my toes at this point. I think others might be stepping on my toes. Dr. Wisdom, my first ball was the LT48, and you still have it. It was 1979. That's awesome. We're not called the Wednesday night irregulars for no reason. Exactly. Seth White, are rubber balls legal? They are. What does rubber do to the lanes? Mike and I were talking about that on the commentary booth. We're like, what does this do? Does this carry oil? It probably carries oil down. It doesn't absorb it. And he's like, I don't know. It was awesome. Dude, I highly recommend checking out that commentary. We had a blast. What was Mike's #1 comment? There was one point where one of the guys, Dave Detlinger, incredible bowler, he almost ran a crazy step ladder. One of the guys had something stuck in his finger grip, so he was trying to get it out, and Dave goes into his backpack and has like a little utility pack and has a screwdriver. So I said, Dave's the kind of guy who would have like a full pro shop inside of his backpack, like a miniature pro shop, like every accessory you can imagine. And Mike goes, Zach, listen to this. There was one tournament I was at where beforehand I was actually babysitting somebody's fish. They just asked me to babysit for the weekend, and I had to live stream a tournament, so I brought the fish with. And when I was at the tournament, I thought, man, I forgot fish food. So I asked Dave to give me some fish food if he had any, and he pulled some fish food out from his backpack. So he does carry everything. It was so stupid. It was so dumb, but so good. All right, let's keep going. It was way too much fun. Bayou, pretty sure we had this corner first. Exactly. This is my corner, baby. Tori, best medium sharp ball for straight playing balanced lefty. GB5 Pearl. Sorry to ask you again. Angry YouTuber distract you. That's sorry, man. Sorry, I was seeing red for a minute. We're good now. But yeah, GB5 Pearl is going to be a good option. Ember is honestly a decent option. And then Motive, like, I think a Hyper Venom is probably your best choice. Oh, yeah, that'll be your best choice. Alex Myers, what is your thought on the Pride Liberty? First out on the lanes on a house shot. Oh, amazing. That's where that ball's best. EJ actually this week for the Badger, they found him a Pride Liberty to drill. That was his like special ball going into match play, was an old Pride Liberty that they drilled just for that Badger pattern. It was awesome. Biggie, honestly, you and Luke always keep it real. The knowledge you guys share is great. Saves me a lot of unnecessary purchases. Also makes me look smart at the alleys. Hey, I'm here to help. Always here to help. Let's see. Timothy Ryan, answer your question about wife's arsenal on email. Oh, perfect. Awesome. Good to hear. Sorry, if you guys email me, I'm a little slow on emails because I only check them when I'm on my desktop or on my computer at home. And Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, miserable for me. But Monday, Friday, and the weekend, I'm always able to answer some emails. So I always try to at least once a week. Jaybird, I'm sure if we're looking up bowling beef in a dictionary, your picture would pop up. Dude, I don't want to be part of it. That's the worst part. That's the worst part, is this always just happens to me. Like, come on. I just want to be out of it. I just want to be everyone's friend. And everyone gets mad. Wex Bowling, unnamed orange and black bowling company, doesn't have a shoe warranty on a pair already warranted. Oh. I bought me some Dexters instead. Oh, Hammer. Yeah, Hammer, I've heard a lot of mediocre things about Hammer shoes, which is disappointing. You're not the first one to say that they blew pairs of shoes out. It's more common than I thought, which is unfortunate. I don't know, like I haven't looked into it. So I receive about 200-ish DMs and comments on everything outside of this per week. It's probably like 80 to 85 actual DMs per 7 days that I get. And I've heard that more than I expected. A little unfortunate. But we'll see. We'll see a little more how it goes. Okay, I just started getting back into bowling. I bought myself a GP Star bowling shoes. I do not. I've never heard of those, actually. Brent Williams, is Swag a good lefty brand because of how smooth the balls are? Potentially, yes. I think lefties would like Swag stuff better than righties. More, especially rev dominant guys, to be able to keep the ball online. Evan, what's the first ball you'd throw on 45 feet, 31 mils? Something big and smooth. Big and smooth will be the play. I'd throw my Jackal Onyx. It has a little lane shine on it, or has a little polish on it. Would be the goat ball. Let's see. Sean Burley, I might go to the TV finals this weekend. Absolutely. I highly recommend it. The TV finals are fun for bowling. You see a lot of the pros. They're usually chilling in the crowd. Like if you guys watch Brad and Kyle's vlog, they're like, Brad is just chilling in the crowd. It's awesome. Super cool. So you can meet a lot of cool bowlers that way. Yofo, if you had to choose a 3-ball bowler, which would you choose? Honestly, most totes are identical in a lot of ways. So right now I have a couple of Storm ones. They're good. Turbo has some awesome ones. I know KR Strike Force has some pretty good ones. To each their own. Most are pretty similar though. Tyran Viking is the greatest ball for everyone. I like it a lot for everyone. I'm still in love with my Viking. Aaron, here's a question. How does the new Gremlin compare to the IQ Tour and the original Ion Pro? I have seen that the Gremlin Tour is very close to the original Ion Pro. It's a slightly earlier, but slightly more, like a slightly quicker Ion Pro hybrid. Not Ion Pro Solid, but Ion Pro hybrid is what I've seen. IQ Tour, it's going to be stronger. Definitely going to be a step up. Pez, Swag balls look really cool. Kudos to them for showing off their production. No, Swag is doing a good job at showing their stuff off. I would love to see them take one more step and actually break into the space. They're doing a good job with it, but I would love just that one extra step, and they'd be... Not a Swag staffer, just bought one and really like it. Yep, exactly, and that's where Mike's at. Like, he was messaging me on Instagram saying that he's planning on buying one, and he really likes it, which is good. Aaron Gonzalez, that's a rev dominant bowler. Which would you recommend in the medium and smooth slot? I like the Cove there a lot, and I like the Alert there for the rev dominant folks. Gyardu, sorry if I'm mispronouncing that. Any opinions on the Ebonite GB line? I love the Game Breaker line. I think it's one of the better bang for your bucks in bowling because it is Treebeard. You still live? Yes, I am. Hello. Jerdu, any opinion? Yeah, so I think it's a good bang for your buck. They're always around $140, or right now they're like 120 in some places, like bowling.com. You can get it for like 122. So I think it's a really good bang for your buck because there's a lot of hook in those balls. They're very much medium bowling balls, but they're always really cheap, and I don't know why. If it's just, it must be cheaper to make them or something. And you see me sending the hearts. I cannot see the hearts that you're sending. Apologies. My first bowling ball was a Lean Masters Perfection. I've never heard of that. Scott Ogden, Rash makes the swag balls look awesome, but it's Sean Rash. Yeah, I mean, yeah, exactly. It's any professional could make any ball look good. Like a lot of, even not professionals, like amateur bowlers, it's crazy. Like if I'm in a ball review and a ball isn't looking good, all I need to do to make it look a little better, change my hand position, lower the ball in my stance to make it roll earlier, change the surface on it between clips, whatever it may be. I'm a firm believer you can make any ball look good on a house shot with the right variables and a good enough bowler who can make changes to their game. I think that's very cheesy and dirty because you're just going to make every ball look good then, even though you're doing different things to it, especially if you don't say those things. But it is something you can do. Anyone can make any ball look good in any setting. Absolutely. Like if I wanted to make a review for that pyramid ball that just did not roll well for me at all, I could. I could have sanded it to like 500 grit. I could have played 15 to 5 and I could have slow hooked it and it probably would have looked great. But I was honest, threw it naturally to show you guys what it does compared to the other brands. So that's something important to know, is that anyone can make any ball look good in something. Always a good thing to remember. And honestly, for you as well, like for you as a bowler, something good to know. If you can learn those little changes with your hand, if you can learn those speed changes, then you can, making sure that isn't the play. Good. Okay, he kind of came back a little bit that the timing was bad. Oh boy. But if you can do those little minor physical adjustments and be consistent, you can make a lot of bowling balls look better than you would otherwise. All right, let us keep on trucking. Remember, make sure to drop a subscription or a follow if you haven't. Best way to help support the channel. Completely free of charge. It's the best way to help little old YouTubers like me. It's the best way to help. Really appreciate it if you do. Thank you so much, everybody who's hopping in right now in the chat. We've had a lot of people jumping in and out tonight. We had some issues with YouTube early on. I greatly apologize for that. But I'm really glad that we're able to get everything on the right track and be able to do a full Q&A like this. These are fun. They're awesome. Glad I'm able to help you guys. That's the goal of the channel, is make you guys better bowlers. So one little quick like tip for the day. We're going to use everyone's favorite Pokeball for this. So for me personally, if you're trying to change your ball roll a little bit, so for me, if my hand is here, that is where I get maximum like end over end, minimum axis rotation if I start on my approach like this. The way I change my ball roll isn't something I do during the swing. It's what I do before I even start walking. On my approach, where my hand is on the ball changes how it rolls. So for me, if I want maximum axis rotation, what I do is I bend my wrist this way, and if I want, I just flip my wrist like that. That adds more axis rotation. That's going to cause the ball to hook later and be sharper down lane. You want it to hook earlier. What I do is I just start with my hand pretty much right up the back of the ball on the approach and then just throw it like normal. And boom, good to go for me. That's how I do it. If I want my ball to have less revolution on it, what I do is I suitcase it. I open my wrist like this, so the wrist is open, and then I have my hand more on the side of it off the start. So if you need some tips on how to change your ball roll just quickly like that, there you go. Hope that helps. Hope that helps. 300 Dreamin' replacement for the Effectua. There honestly isn't a replacement for the Effectua right now. That ball's kind of a unicorn in the space. David Jones, what's going on, man? If you use interchangeables, I do. Try to find a way to put your name or email on them. Last night was the third thumb insert I found on the floor this season. Really? How are people doing that? Interesting. Yeah, it's kind of hard to, because you can't, interchangeables, they have to be so tight in the ball that you can't put anything on the outside of them. And on the inside, like that's where your thumb goes. So you could, I don't know where you could put something, honestly. There's got to be something you can do. I don't have any right here with me, but there are some guys who make 3D printed like holders for different interchangeable thumbs that like lock in. Super nice to have. So it's kind of like you're like bringing home your bags of bowling balls. Like, all right, there's a spot open. I'm missing one. Do the same thing for thumbs. Be pretty cool. An RFID chip. That is very expensive. Yeah, just slap an AirTag on it too. No, that'd be pretty pricey, but yeah, it's got to be some way. Carter, you're rev dominant and you have an Arctic vibe. What's a step ball up for more oil? Brunswick Alert. Brunswick Alert. Oh, there's sticker ones? I didn't know that. I did not know that. Have a bowl off for the time slot. No bumpers. Ooh, no, I need bumpers. Tyran, I may be a hammer ball guy, but the shoes all seem to stop at 14. Yeah, I know. Getting shoes above 14 is always very, very tough. Very tough to do. My LT48 sort of absorbs oil, and when I leave it in a hot car, it sweats like crazy. Oh, so maybe it does absorb a little bit. Interesting. We weren't really sure. We assumed it didn't. Brian Swede, what's going on, man? Watching the Spurs go for 10 in a row. That's crazy. I can't believe they're actually doing well. It's good. Good for them. Let's see. Number one, Fenton. Just got some new shoes, debating on going bowling late. Yeah, do it. Always go bowling. Spareware, I have 15s, and it's so... You have 15s? Aren't you like 6 feet tall? Huh. Got some big feet. Sheesh. Reddit Ute, you have a Rockstar Solid, a Hyperdrive Pearl, and an Ocean Vibe. Think about getting the Ion Max Pearl. Yeah, I think that would fit pretty well. Did I miss anything about the Ion Max Pearl? It's looking good. Oh, you're 6'5". Really? You're 6'5"? Oh. So, for the record, to dig myself out of this hole, Ryan, people say the same thing about me. The number one comment I get when people meet me is, huh, you're tall. Every time. You're taller than I thought. 180 average bowler, member for 8 months. 180. Thank you so much for hopping in as another month for being a member. My effect isn't hooking. Any good replacements? Zero Mercy Pearl is going to be stronger and sharper. Black Widow Mania is going to be a little weaker, a little quicker. So it depends what kind of reaction you want off that effect. There isn't really a good hammer effect replacement right now, but there's a lot around it. That's close. So thank you so much for being a member. I know, absolutely. Let's see. Unheard Gaming. I threw a 235 at state. Congratulations. That is such a good game. Nice job, man. Nice job. Big props for that one. What do you think about the Motive 3-ball roller vault bag? Motive 3-ball roller vault bag. Maverick, thank you for the subscription, man. No, that's way too expensive, man. $250? No, not worth it. Not worth it in the slightest. You can get 3 totes for that price. Like, you can get 3 different bags for that. So I'd recommend getting totes instead. Totes and a backpack will run you $100+ less. Alex Myers, I have the Blue Crown Victory. Is this ball designed to take a beating? Seems like outer core easily get damaged. It gets damaged as much as others do, really. So I wouldn't say it's more or less, but yeah, it's the same as everything else in that regard. Jaden, do you know if I can replace my black hammer with a different ball like a concept, or are you losing a ball for match play? A qualified, I didn't understand that rule. No, all good, Jaden. So the way the Junior Gold rule works, a little confusing, so it's understandable. For the first portion of it, qualifying, you can use 78 hardness bowling balls. So that black hammer 78, you can use that there. You can also use the concept. When you get to the final round, that's where you cannot use that black hammer anymore. So yes, once you go into that next round, you actually get to re-choose the 5 bowling balls you bring. So all 5 bowling balls get wiped and you can choose 5 new ones. So that's where you can take out the black hammer and put in a concept if you want. Yofo, how do you know which ball gives you the most misroom per condition? That one is an incredibly hard question. It's really off of a guess and test. So when I give you suggestions for what ball's best, I'm not giving you just what is going to be the best in this specific situation. I'm giving you what has the most misroom. When I'm recommending this is the best ball for this condition, what it means is I'm recommending a ball that has the most misroom. That is what we go for in bowling, is the more misroom, the better. So that is where we're doing that in that regard. So when I recommend, an asymmetrical pearl ball is the best thing for a fresh house shot, that is because it gives you the most room for error compared to other balls. Can you throw a urethane on a house shot? Yes. Your margin of error is a lot smaller than what it is with that asymmetrical pearl. Or Zero Mercy Solid, for example, or Ion, let's go Ion Max. Let's just go Ion Max. Ion Max is going to be super early, super smooth. For me, I could strike with that ball in a house shot, but I'm going to have very little miss room. But if I bring my shiny Rockstar Solid, I'm going to have a lot more miss room, and that's why that ball is going to be better. So when we give recommendations for like this ball is the best in this situation, we are going for the most miss room. That's usually what it means when we say it's the best. Hope that helps. Swag really needs to take that next step, like you said, and get in the PBA. Unfortunately, we won't see that this year. It costs a lot of money, and I don't know how much money they're making. Of course, they're not a company that's going to release their financials, but I'd be curious. Honestly, I could see them trying it if they release some more bowling balls. They don't have a urethane, so PBA guys won't want to throw it. I doubt they make a urethane. They're probably banking on the fact that urethane gets banned potentially. So I don't think we'll see it on tour unless the urethane gets fully banned. Then maybe we'll see it. Then maybe. They're still trying to get their feet under them, though, at the end of the day. Jaybird, does B7 have any comparison to Storm's tournament arsenal? No. No, it's kind of interesting right now. Storm is going for like, here are some smooth control pieces, and Brunswick is saying, here's a lot of skid snap. So they're kind of going in different routes. Now, Brunswick has stuff that fits in that category for Storm, and Storm has stuff that fits in that category for Brunswick. But right now, they're just kind of going in different directions, which is how it works. A couple of months ago, Storm only released shiny balls for like 3 months straight. Maya, love your content. Thank you, Maya. Really appreciate it. Thanks for hopping in, too. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yofo, what characteristics does ball have that makes it a house shot killer, and what balls do you recommend? So like I mentioned, I like asymmetrical pearls or middle of the road symmetrical solids are generally going to give you that most miss room. So that's usually what's best. Treebeard, plastic ball, though, they just don't hook at all, but very straight no matter how you release it. Yep, that's the best play for them. Pez of Doom. I'm toying around with getting a third ball, trying to decide between a Gremlin or a Judgment. How much of a difference does a 0.01 RG, 0.01 differential make? That makes very little, but remember the cover stock is more important. Cover stock is about 70% of a ball's reaction. Core is about 30% of a ball's reaction. Make sure to keep that in mind, where the core is important, but the cover matters more. Robin, where does the new Gremlin Tour fit? I think it's going to be medium smooth. Not positive, but from what I've seen so far, which isn't as much, people are a little more happy to push the Ion Max Pearl. It gets more views, understandable, but I think it's going to be medium smooth or medium sharp. I don't know which. B. Dean, are swag balls able to be used in USBC tournaments? They absolutely are, 100%. Contrite, been following forever on TikTok. Did not know you streamed on Twitch. Yes, and hopefully in the next couple of months, you're going to see a lot more video game streams from me on Twitch as well. We're going to try to branch out a little bit more in the coming months once we have a little bit more time. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Jeff Sound Guy, $5 super chat. Thank you, man. Through all the new Storm balls last weekend, ended up with the Transformer in pre-orders for the Ion Max Pearl. Congratulations. That's awesome. All 3 are money. No, I think that Transformer is going to be one of the better balls of the year. Everyone's really liking that ball. Armani, what's going on? New Evoke, how do you like it? It's very mediocre for me. If you're someone who likes motive equipment, you're going to love it. For me, it's just not that great. I can't get it to be too consistent. I need to try it on some more conditions. But right now, it's kind of hit or miss for me. Let's see. Treebeard, sooner or later, every bowler learns to change their release. Like the more someone bowls, the years go on, you can switch up how you release it. Yeah, but you want to do it the right way. Like you don't want to just try to change things that's going to make you more inconsistent. There's right and wrong ways to change your release. Some people try to change it like in the middle of their swing, and that's really bad. That's going to add a lot of inconsistency. ZVL streaming Arc Raiders. I have not played in a long time, but I would. Only if you join him from Parker. I would be in. I'm a Call of Duty guy at heart. I played that for years and years and years, but I'm always open to a new time. Kyle can't bowl. I feel honored to bowl my first 300 the same weekend as Brandon Bonta's 300. Congratulations, Kyle. You got to change your name now from Kyle Can't Bowl to Kyle Can Bowl. Then you'll be good to go. What ball do you have? A ball? Oh, phase 2, I think, in your pick. That's awesome. Did I play in the PBA from Treebeard? No, I have never competed on the PBA tour. I have not. Yeah, Spareware, I'm a COD guy, but Victor wants Arc. D Settle, good evening. Was wondering if you had a suggestion for the Black Widow 2.0 solid replacement. Probably Black Widow Dynasty is going to be my play, or Black Widow 3.0, but I'd lean towards the Dynasty. And also keep up the great work on Bowlers Network. Thanks you, man. Really, thanks you. Wow. Thank you, man. Really appreciate it. Maverick, are the Vengeance, Bionic, and Rockstar too close? I think either Vengeance or Rockstar and Bionic is good. I don't think Vengeance and Rockstar. Fairware, Fortnite. I haven't played Fortnite in like 2 years. I played a couple of years ago. I got carried by an 8-year-old. I joined a random party. No, it's actually funny. We're gonna go story time off the rails. We haven't gone off the rails yet. So I used to stream Victor plays Street Fighter. I watch Arc because I'm not good at it. That's very fair. So story time. I used to stream gaming stuff. ZVL Gaming was my old tag before I started ZVL Bowling. And there was a day that I played Lego Fortnite when that got big. So I played with one of my viewers. I opened up my lobby. I only had like 10 to 15 viewers at the time. And I had someone join. And they joined and they type a little bit like, hey, it's awesome to join and all this. And they say, can I join into voice chat? And I was like, we were in Discord. So I was like, yeah, if you join in Discord, otherwise, or no, I didn't even say anything. They just hopped in and I see voice chat on Lego Fortnite. And it's like this very small child saying, hey, ready to play. Oh, I'm going to watch my mouth and language now. Okay. So afterwards, I play a duos game with him. He drops like 25 kills. I dropped 3. I didn't play Fortnite at this point for like 2 years before that. And I got crushed. I was still trying to figure out, I was playing on Switch. I was trying to figure out controls and everything. And he was just frying people with it. It was awesome. It was so wild. Also, I saw a Talon Jacobson sighting. What's going on, man? The man buying all the bowling balls right now. Let's keep going. Don, are there pro shops who advertise the bowling ball price to include drilling? Some do. Mine does at times. It's always kind of dependent on what you get. Like for us, we have your drilling price, like when you just get drilling, and then your grips on top of it, and then your slug on top of that. So some people have a mixture of all of those things. So we always do like a, drilling plus ball, and then here are the add-ons. Fairware, those kids fry. It's so crazy. It's insane. They have the time to just grind like that. Hey, Matt Novak, what's going on? I did see a giveaway on the PBA Tour. Was at 2025 Masters. Little kid asked Bill O'Neill for an autograph. Put it on a Black Widow 3.0. That's so cool. I did see, yeah, every week they're giving away a bowling ball on Bowl TV. They're doing like a, I think it's a Guess That Bowler. So it's a pretty cool concept. I think Bowl TV is pretty cool. You can win some stuff on it if you want. Yeah, no. Oh, so for Victor, I've never played a fighter game. Smash Bros is the closest I've gotten to a fighter game. I've been a button spammer before that. Gregory getting the Ion Max Pearl to add for tournaments. Decent play. Aaron, I bet the other stuff on house shots, but then again, I throw more straight, but I'm on the pitch black from a straight angle. Can sometimes be hard to beat. When it's at least medium to fresh heavy, I throw the Ion Max. If not, I'll ball down. There you go. Justin, what do you think causes an 8-10 pocket split? That's when your ball doesn't have enough energy when it's going through the pins. So you need your ball to be able to get more energy and drive through the pins. When your ball deflects because it has too little of energy, that's when you notice that. I've seen people comparing the Gremlin Tour to the Ion Pro. Exactly. That's what I've seen as well right now. And I think that's a pretty good replacement. It seems like the Gremlin Tour is like the direct replacement of the Ion Pro and the Ion Pro Solid. So I'd assume the Ion Pro Solid is going to be going sometime soon also. Nothing wrong with Smash. I hardly have time to game. Dude, I know. I'm a COD kid. I love playing ranked play in COD. It came out in early February. I finally got a couple games in last night because I got locked out of my pro shop. That was fun. I don't have a key for our pro shop. Never been given one. And no one had the key and it was locked. So I came home and I played some COD. It was great. It was a night I was actually able to play. It was awesome. I went 2-2, I think. Got thrown into a game of Search and Destroy immediately without any warm-up, which actually went fairly well. And then I got smashed up in a hardpoint game. That wasn't fun. Blake, I'm looking at getting a benchmark, medium smooth ball. I have the Equinox Solid Phase 2 Pearl concept and a white dot. I wanted the Bionic, but I don't want 2 Phase 2s. Yeah, keep some surface on the Bionic. It should be okay. It should be pretty okay there. Talon, I used to play Fortnite's Cash Cups. Of course you were a Cash Cup. Of course you were a Cash Cup kid. Why wouldn't you be? That's awesome. Gregory, COD player too. Love it. Who's that Bowlermon? It's Belmosaur. Boo. Mike, where on Bowl TV are they doing giveaways? Because it's free. If it's free, it's for me. Yeah, no, they're doing it during qualifying block. So like every day, what they do is they release a fact about a random bowler who's won a PBA title. And then you get like one guess per day. And if you get it right, you get put into the raffle to win a signed bowling ball. Last week, I think, was AJ Johnson signed bowling ball. This week is Matt Ogle. Oh no, this week might be Bill O'Neill. Last week was Matt Ogle, something like that. Is it okay to have the Phase 2 and the Venom Shock? Absolutely it is. Sub, will the Bionic and Ion Max Pearl complement each other? They do. They do complement each other really well. Brian, going to order some stuff from Spareware. Nice. That's a great idea. Use code ZVL. Make sure you use code ZVL. You get a little bit of a percentage off. And Ryan, the owner, CEO, creator, operator, head honcho of Spareware, will love you forever as well. The win-win. Schildebrand. Rev Dominant Bowler here. Trying to decide between a Stealth Mode Hybrid or a Crown Vic Pearl when I'm between 4th and 5th. Crown Vic Pearl. Spare. Ryan, I will. You will. Parker, do you think the concept would be a great sub for the Purple Hammer for Junior Gold? I think the Black Hammer is still a better replacement, but the concept can work pretty well. I think the concept will be good in a lot of these Minnesota centers. I think that'll be a little bit better. Also, you are going to Junior Gold. I will be there a lot this year. There's a lot of things in the works. I might be there for a lot of different reasons. So make sure if you're coming to Junior Gold, you're going to see a very tall, lanky dude walking around a lot. So make sure to come say hi. I'll be in ZVL stuff the whole time. Roy Larson, did you bowl with Ryan Powers at the Classic? He was on the squad before me, and then I was able to watch him on the match play round. So yeah, he was in the tournament. I just didn't bowl with him at all. But yeah, he was there. Talked to him a little bit. Always a great dude. Always a good dude. Aaron, Malia Briggs just compared the Tour to the Gremlin. That's one of the least favorites I've seen on the lanes. The original Gremlin overrated. Oh, people love the Gremlin. The Gremlin is awesome if you play right at 15. There's no reason to compare the Tour X to the Gremlin. They're not even close together. It's a different core, different cover. So Malia doesn't really go too deep into ball reviews. I know she's mainly just, we're going to throw this ball and we'll compare it to one other ball. But I think that I wouldn't think of the Gremlin Tour X as a Gremlin. I would think of it as a completely different ball. Rander Dream, and I just ordered another Effect Tour. Yeah, I think they're going to get discontinued soon. I will be ordering another as well. Yofo, thank you for answering. I really enjoy the channel. Thank you, man. I really enjoy it. This and Luke's channels are the best. Hey, breaking news here. We have a lot of people hanging out. Next week, I'm going to say it so that it locks him in. We may potentially have a dual stream with the one and only Luke Rosdahl. There's a chance, a good chance, that we have Luke Rosdahl on the stream next Wednesday, 6 p.m. We are going to have him hanging out with us, talking all things bowling. So be ready for that. Also, I believe it's next Tuesday already. 3-4? No, 3-3? Let me check, just to verify. Just to verify. I gotta check. Sorry, Al. Let me find it. No. We are gonna find it. It's gonna happen. There it is. Tuesday, March 3rd. Yes. Next week, Tuesday, 7:15, we will be live on YouTube with Coach Mike Shady, Zach Andreessen, Brooke Salzman, both Team Junior USA members, and Al Houston about a coaching clinic that they're doing. So we're going to pick their brains a little bit and be able to talk to the infamous Coach Mike Shady. 2 live streams coming next week, one on Tuesday, one on Wednesday. Make sure to stay tuned for that. It's going to be a great, great time. Super fun. So we might have a Mike Shady and a Luke Rosdahl sighting in the same exact week. Going to be... I'm super excited. It's going to be super fun. A lot of cool people jumping onto the stream. Nerdy Bowler, what's going on, man? And Spareware, thank you. Or no, Nerdy Bowler, thank you for the heart me. OMG, thank you for the rose. And Spareware, thank you for all the gifts earlier as well. And Alex, thank you for the follow. All right. we are going to go. Last call for questions. Last call for questions out there. Remember, if you are new here, make sure to drop a subscription or a follow or a like on whatever platform you're on. Best way to help support the channel, completely free of charge. And then you can get notified whenever we have new videos go live. We have a lot of cool stuff coming tomorrow. We are going to have our nationals guide. Yes, tomorrow we will have our first step at our USBC Open Championships, what to do to win the tournament. So we are going to have a full arsenal guide on what you should bring to Reno this year to have the best scores possible. Then next week, we are going to have a part 2 about how to break the lanes down as a team. So tomorrow, I'd recommend watching it for yourself. The next week, I'd recommend watching it for your entire team. Send it to your teammates who you're going out there with, because there's a lot of really cool things that you're going to learn from that to try to help boost your scores a little bit. Because your goals are to cash at the event, make some money, pay for the event itself. So that is possible. But with these 2 videos, it'll give you a good step in the right direction. Let's see. Roy, did you hear Ryan's in the Hall of Fame? Oh, Powers. Yeah, he's in like what, the Missouri or Nebraska Hall of Fame or something? I forget which. But yeah, I did see that he's making it. That's awesome. Best ball arsenals have discontinued and on sales balls from Yofo. Yeah, that's, well, I like to do that with the copper drop, like showcase here are the best balls that are on discount right now, because there's a lot of bowling balls discontinued. I could do like a best of the last like 2 years or something. That might be coming soon. We'll see. We'll see. Brian, I'm almost caught up on Bowlers Network. Somehow you come off as more experienced than your counterparts. Must be all the live streaming. Yeah, I think, well, Carolyn has experience in front of a TV camera. Jay doesn't really have much experience. Oh no, are you sure? I meant Infamous. Yeah, no. Mike's a cool dude, so no. Infamous, famous, everything. No, I purposely said Infamous there. Yeah, but he's one of the best coaches in the world, so it'll be fun. But no, yeah, Carolyn has a lot of experience in front of TV camera. Jay has a lot of experience just with stuff behind the scenes, but none of us really knew each other before that happened. Me and Carolyn met right before our very first show. Like, I never met her. Jay, I only talked to a handful of times before that. But it was super good. It's gone super, super well. A lot of people are big fans of it. So it's 3 times a week that they're coming out. So it's awesome. A man too, I bought the Combat Hybrid, getting it drilled tomorrow. There you go. Greg, got to do a live stream of the importance of fitness. Ooh, that's a good call. Yofo, if you and Luke did a collab, that would be amazing. It will be coming soon. Are you sure? Yep, we hit that one. Jay Burr, what's an ideal time or situation to get in the weak and smooth equipment? My heart wants the anger. My pro shop said the Venom Shock, but my center lanes say the Turbo X. That's generally going to be best. Like, I like those in like game 2 or game 3 is best for something a little smoother down lane. Lucian, did you drill the Deviate Hater Pearl? I did not, but the Hater Pearl is going to be a super, super weak and quick asymmetrical pearl. Nerdy, not going this year? Oh, come on, man. Well, you can learn some stuff for how to bowl on tougher conditions. That's the other positive with that video, is you can also learn how to bowl on tough conditions. Roy Larson, oh, it's Omaha Hall of Fame. That's what it was. Awesome. JJ, in your opinion, what do you like better, Ion Max or Evoke Mayhem? Ion Max, 10 days out of the week. Chill Barton, would the new Supra be a step down from the Primal? It would. It would be a really good step down, actually. Thoughts on the Spartan, Joey? I like mine shiny. I haven't liked it dull, but I haven't thrown it on situations where it should be used. I'm going to be bringing it a little more to tournaments in the next couple of weeks because I'm giving up on my Evoke Mayhem for a little bit after it burned me this week. Otherwise, did Joe, if you had to bowl in the 2025 Lucky Larson's pattern in like 2 weeks, what hypothetical balls would you use? Maybe you have a 320 rev rate and 15 miles an hour. You know, just random numbers that you're putting out there. 2025 Lucky Larson. Hey, look quick. Lucky Larson oil pattern. What do we got? It is 44 feet, 29 mils, 1 to 2. Oh, good luck. Big and strong. Well, smoother is better. Smoother is a lot better for that pattern, man. PC is better. Will you ever live stream your league nights? I will not be live streaming league nights anytime soon. The guys in league for me do not want to be live streamed, and I don't want to be that guy who just sticks a camera in front of their face. Especially the league I'm in is a little more like, I don't know. They're not like a league you'll watch with like Victor or anything, where they're a lot more chill with a lot of that stuff. There's a couple teams who like really would not like me live streaming it. So Unfortunately, I won't be unless I join in a different league anytime soon, then potentially. Yofo, do you recommend a source that shows you how to adjust on leaves or even if you strike, making adjustments depending on how the pins fall? Absolutely. 300, you said the best replacement for the 3D offset was the Vengeance, nothing in the Brunswick line. If you're going, well, if it's 3D offset Assault and you're going Brunswick line, Black Widow Dynasty, Evil Eye, Stealth Mode, things like that. Is the concept in Shadow Tank comparable? Not really. Shadow Tank is a lot earlier and slower. Don't end stream, do a 24-hour. I work in 10 hours. That ain't happening. Actually, 9 hours. All right. But we are going to call it on that. I want to thank all of you guys for hopping in today. I really do appreciate it. Thank you, everyone who's hopping in. We have a really exciting week coming up this week. We have our USBC Open Championship Arsenal Guide tomorrow. Next week, we have our USBC Open Championship Lane Play Guide coming out. We have a live stream on Tuesday, 7:15 Central Standard Time, with Al Houston, Coach Mike Shady, Zach Andreessen, and Brooke Salzman talking everything about a clinic they're doing right before Junior Gold. We are going live Wednesday with a potential Luke Rosdahl sighting. We might be co-streaming with Luke Rosdahl, so make sure to stay tuned for that. Drop subscription so that you don't miss any of our content coming out in the next couple of weeks. A couple of big things going on. Go check out Bowlers Network. Link is in the description for our most recent video. It's a really fun series. If you want to listen to a little more stuff about bowling, I highly recommend it. Go check out Spareware, if you haven't, who's in the TikTok chat right now, for their brand new t-shirt where a lot of the proceeds go towards the Royale Nonprofit Foundation, where they are making scholarships for kids for bowling. So over a lot of the profits for those t-shirts go to that. Use code ZVL for a little bit of a kickback, a little bit of a percentage off on your order. But with that, otherwise, thank you to our other sponsors, bowling.com. Go check them out for the latest and greatest bowling needs online. G Fuel, you can use code ZVL Bowling for 30% off right now, not 20%, 30% off your order from G Fuel. They have some new sick flavors, by the way. I'd recommend checking them out. And then huge thank you to our partner, Turbo. Turbo's been awesome. We're going to have a care package coming from them very soon. Make sure to go check out some Turbo products. But otherwise, that is it for today. Thank you guys so much. TikTok, I'm going to say goodbye to you first. TikTok, thank you so much. I will see you all on the next one. And then we are going to be saying goodbye to everybody on the long stream platforms. Long stream platforms, thank you guys all so much for hopping in. Really appreciate it. And I will see all of you on the next one as well. Tuesday, 7:15 Central Time. Let me find my button. Uh-oh, did things freeze? Things didn't freeze. All right. Thank you guys so much. I'll see you on the next one.